it's my time, think it's my year, yeah. I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah. I really feel it's my time, think it's my pen ready. Used to hold myself back, my self-esteem damn bad. Gotta keep on chugging, ran through everything in front of me. Might smoke bed in heaven, got a whole agenda. Can't aspire to get ahead, so bump that, it's no surrender. Got a dollar flipped up, I'm trying to get it in FT to get them when they're hand and crypto. Learn how to fix that. I don't really hold out of books, but I'ma learn how to fix that. Some opportunities are never come unless you paying attention, so no, I can't miss that. Moving, MVP, I got the record, I might have to pro something. Big jumper worthy, they gon' have to retire my jersey early. Whole crew coming, had to work something, cause I had nothing in my pocket, yeah, I did all that. Big plans, partners trying to make profits, yeah, I did all that. Work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no wins, yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen, putting hours in my practice, I did all that, yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs, I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs, yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, run it, ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my big dog, walking big talk, young veteran, living legend, bet I'm better than them, this is my ship, I'm a jacket like Letterman, y'all better not let them in, they gon' rotate this so I keep the pedaling, started a chain, the cycle is heaven sent, this is from God, but I'm not your reverend, not in the pulpit, I'm a pit bull in this element, yeah, said you gon' pull up, then settle it, yeah, I've been married to this hustle, this is my ring, watch I step in it, yeah, and I ain't even got a yard, but I'ma get it here, watch how I touch down, pulling plans out the clutch, everybody getting crushed, the cut down is for us now, have to work something, cause I had nothing in my pocket, yeah, I did all that, big plans, partners trying to make profits, yeah, I did all that, work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no wins, yeah, I did all that, had to make it happen, putting hours in my practice, I did all that, yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs, I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs, yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, run it, ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my, yeah. Run it, I can't take no loss, I don't even know what it costs, I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, I can't take no loss, I don't even know what it costs, yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, run it, ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my pen ready. Used to hold myself back, my self-esteem damn bad. Gotta keep on chugging, ran through everything in front of me. Might smoke bed in heaven, got a whole agenda. Can't aspire to get ahead, so bump that, it's no surrender. Got a dollar flipped up, I'm trying to get it in FT to get them when they're hand and crypto. Learn how to fix that. I don't really hold out of books, but I'ma learn how to fix that. Some opportunities are never come unless you paying attention, so no, I can't miss that. Moving, MVP, I got the record, I might have to pro something. Big jumper worthy, they gon' have to retire my jersey early. Whole crew coming, had to work something, cause I had nothing in my pocket, yeah, I did all that. Big plans, partners trying to make profits, yeah, I did all that. Work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no wins, yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen, putting hours in my practice, I did all that, yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs, I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs, yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, run it, ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my big dog, walking big talk, young veteran, living legend, bet I'm better than them, this is my ship, I'm a jacket like Letterman, y'all better not let them in, they gon' rotate this so I keep the pedaling, started a chain, the cycle is heaven sent, this is from God, but I'm not your reverend, not in the pulpit, I'm a pit bull in this element, yeah, said you gon' pull up, then settle it, yeah, I've been married to this hustle, this is my ring, watch I step in it, yeah, and I ain't even got a yard, but I'ma get it here, watch how I touch down, pulling plans out the clutch, everybody getting crushed, the cut down is for us now, have to work something, cause I had nothing in my pocket, yeah, I did all that, big plans, partners trying to make profits, yeah, I did all that, work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no wins, yeah, I did all that, had to make it happen, putting hours in my practice, I did all that, yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs, I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs, yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it it's my year, yeah. I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah. I really feel it's my time, think it's my, yeah. Run it. I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah. Run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time, think it's my pen ready. Used to hold myself back, my self-esteem been patted. Gotta keep on chugging, ran through everything in front of me. Might smoke bed in heaven, got a whole agenda. Can't aspire to get ahead, so bump that, it's no surrender. Got a dollar flipped up, I'm trying to get it in FT to get them in their hand and crypto, learn how to fix that. I don't really hold out of books, but I'ma learn how to fix that. Some opportunities are never come unless you paying attention, so no, I can't miss that. Moving, MVP, I got the record, I might have to prove something. Big jumper worthy, they gon' have to retire my jersey early. Whole crew coming, had to work something, cause I had nothing in my pocket, yeah, I did all that. Big plans, partners trying to make profits, yeah, I did all that. Work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no wins, yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen, putting hours in my practice, I did all that. Yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs, yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, run it, ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my big dog, walking big talk, young veteran, living legend, bet I'm better than them. This is my ship, I'm a jacket like Letterman, y'all better not let them in, they gon' rotate this, so I keep the pedaling, started a chain, the cycle is heaven sent, this is from God, but I'm not your reverend, not in the pulpit, I'm a pit bull in this element, yeah, said you gon' pull up, then settle it, yeah, I've been married to this hustle, this is my ring, watch out, step in it, yeah, and I ain't even got a yard, but I'ma get it here, watch out, touchdown, pulling plans out the clutch, everybody getting crushed, the cut down is for us now, have to work something, cause I had nothing in my pocket, yeah, I did all that, big plans, partners trying to make profits, yeah, I did all that, work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no wins, yeah, I did all that, had to make it happen, putting hours in my practice, I did all that, yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs, I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off,
Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. He is Jason, the chosen one. I am Greg, a legend in my own mind. Jay, what's going on with you, bro?
Chilling, man. Chilling. Slow boxing week or day last night, but we still got some shit.
Slow. No, it's definitely been slow. It's been slow. Let's see who we got in the chat. The Keggy is in the chat. The Keggy, what's going on with you, bro? Fentanyl public relations. We're brothers. We're happy and we're singing and we're colored. Give me a high five. Fentanyl public relations is in the building. What's going on with you, bro? Skills from New Orleans. What's going on with you, King? All right, bro. You know how we do it, Jay. You know, we're gonna give our sponsors some love, and then we're gonna jump right into it, man. Rocked Out Interactive. If you're looking for anything relative to media, websites, web design, graphics, you name it, Rocked Out Interactive, that's the place you want to go. Black Father Figures, that's my boy. They have a cruise coming up very soon. Jay, we got to make sure that we get him on toward one of maybe the end of the shows. For the people that don't know, that's the League of Legacies. That's his deal that he's doing, man. It's bringing Black fathers together. Very important task and work that the League of Legacy is doing. So we are all aligned to what he's doing. Shout out to him. All right, bro. You know how we do it, bro. We jump right into it, man. Jay, what do we have on the docket for today?
I mean, there's some shit that's been going on with your boy, your favorite promoter, one of your favorite fighters of all time, Oscar De La Hoya.
Oscar De La Hoya is by far my favorite fighter of all time, according to Jason, who loves to come on the show and make up bullshit.
That's what you told me before. Don't act brand new now.
I ain't never told you that. Man, shut up. I ain't never told you that shit. So Oscar De La Hoya, man, dropped a couple of videos on him the last couple of days. Number one, dropped a video talking about the fact that he said that in reality, Ryan Garcia is the face of boxing. He is the pay-per-view king. Gervonta Davis had never done 200,000 or more than 200,000 pay-per-views in his career prior to having a fight with Ryan Garcia. And at the point in which he had that fight with Ryan Garcia, Jay, he did 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, whatever the number is, pay-per-view buys, million pay-per-view buys. And now he's basically saying that that's all because of Ryan, and therefore, because at the end of the day, he hadn't done that before, combining with Ryan must have brought in the other 1 to 1.1 million pay-per-view buys. Jay, let's address it. And I also dropped a real quick video. It's probably like a minute long, Jay. I just wanted to put it out there, man, because sometimes I think people actually forget what some of our favorite fighters and promoters actually say. And so Oscar De La Hoya was on record, and there were multiple outlets that he said this. He said it to TMZ Sports. He said it to Sports Illustrated. But basically, whoever the winner was going to be the face of boxing. And he put this little caveat in it, Jay, basically saying that if you're doing something special, right? If Ryan Garcia were to knock Tank Davis out, that's something special. If Tank Davis were to knock Ryan Garcia out, that's something special. And so doing something special in that environment would make you the face of boxing. Well, we know what ended up happening. Ryan Garcia got dropped in the second round, and then ultimately he got put down and out with a body shot. Yeah, Oscar De La Hoya is still saying that Ryan Garcia is the face of boxing. Jay, I'm going to go ahead and pass it to you very quickly for you to give your thoughts on that, because I know what I think. I think the people know what I think, but I don't know if the people know what you think. What's your thoughts?
Man, Oscar is just doing what he does best. Clout chasing. Clout chasing, clout chasing, clout chasing. He know no way in hell Ryan's the face of boxing. I mean, like we did a video a little while ago, and we're asking, how many pay-per-views has Ryan done and sold out before? None. So how the hell can he be the face of boxing all of a sudden just because of this? Yeah, you have to have a good dance partner, indeed. Well, we know Tank was the lead dog in this. He was the A side in this whole situation. So there's no way in hell Ryan's going to be the face of boxing with that. Now, if he had won, he would have been up higher in the rankings, yeah. But he didn't win. He got knocked down in the second round, and he actually quit in the round 7. So if you've seen the epilogue, All Access, you would see him saying that Joe Goosen asked him in the corner, he's like, hey, did you get him that little real part? Ryan like, yeah, I didn't want to. He said what? He said he didn't want to. I think he said he didn't want to.
I haven't seen the epilogue yet, so I can't speak to it.
So, but if y'all do watch it, it's 18 minutes, 45 minutes into the epilogue towards the end. You'll see it at that point in time. So you be the judge of if Ryan quit. Because at first I was on the up there saying that he didn't quit. He made a business decision. He was really hurt because it was a liver shot, looked like. Yeah. But based on what he said, he quit, man. Face boxing can't quit.
That's a fair point. So let's talk about it. What did he quit? Because we're kind of combining different topics here together. Well, let me start off with Oscar De La Hoya first. So Oscar, whether you like Oscar De La Hoya or not, I personally believe that Oscar De La Hoya is a hell of a promoter, and here's why. Oscar De La Hoya has no scruples in regards to being an individual who doesn't mind contradicting himself, who doesn't mind bending the truth in order to promote his fighter. He doesn't mind making outlandish comments in order to promote his fighter, man. And that is the sign and mark of a great promoter, because that's what Don King did. Bob Arum, I think, what did Bob Arum say? I was lying yesterday, but today I'm telling the truth. That's what good promoters do. So I can't knock him for what he's doing necessarily. But as, I don't know, Jay, I wouldn't call us media, but as someone who is covering and following the sport, we must call out the inconsistencies in the statements that our favorite boxers or promoters make, whether we like them or not. And Oscar has been very inconsistent in what he's saying relative to these two fighters. At the end of the day, he said the winner of this fight was going to be the face of boxing, not the loser. Not the loser. The winner was going to be the face of boxing. And the winner needed to do something special, like knock the other guy out. And that's what Tank Davis did. He knocked the other guy out, period. So at the end of the day, he's the face of boxing. Now, when you start to talk about whether or not the combination, we know, man, that it takes two to tango when you start talking about 1 million pay-per-view buys, unless you get to a level of Floyd, De La Hoya, Mike Tyson, those types of fighters. Those are the guys that are going to do over 1 million plus pay-per-view buys. Other guys are going to do around 3, 4, 5. That's nothing uncommon until you get to that next plateau. And I think this fight was the platform for both of these fighters to get to the next level. And so with Tank being victorious and Ryan not, I think Tank is the one that raised his profile to start to do more than 200,000 pay-per-view buys, maybe start to do 5, 6, 7. Ryan also raised his profile. He did, absolutely. But not the face, but he didn't raise his profile to be the face of boxing. You can't raise your profile to be the face of boxing in a loss. So at the end of the day, I would love to see what ends up happening moving forward with both of these fighters. I want to see if Ryan elevates to that next level. I want to see what pay-per-view numbers he does after this fight. I want to see if Oscar De La Hoya even puts him in a pay-per-view fight. Because prior to this fight, he had never been in a pay-per-view fight. So help me understand this, Jason. You are the reason why a pay-per-view card did 1.2 million pay-per-view buys, 1.2, 1, 1.4, whatever you believe, and you had never been on pay-per-view before. Why, as the promoter, would you not put a fighter on pay-per-view that you believe can do, let's call it 6, 7, 800,000 pay-per-views, because clearly that's what he believes. If you're calling out the fact that Gervonta Davis only did 200,000 pay-per-view buys, right, and the card did 1.2, by default you're making you're assuming that Ryan Garcia actually generated 1 million pay-per-view buys. If he can do that level of pay-per-view buys, and I'm gonna pull that number down, right? Let's say 6, 7, 8. If he can do that level of pay-per-view buys, why wouldn't you put him on pay-per-view? I'm not tracking. So at the end of the day, Tank had been on pay-per-view, Ryan had not. Tank won, Ryan did not. At the end of the day, in my opinion, Tank is going to be the face of boxing. Ryan's profile is elevated, and we just got to see where they go from here. You know what I mean? Now, in regards to Ryan Garcia quitting, you know, it's interesting, bro, because I've made this comment in the past. As boxing fans, as boxing channels, as people who are a part of the boxing community, whether that is you're in media, you're a boxer, or you're simply a fan, we got to stop using the comments or the narrative or the descriptor of you're casual just because you disagree with what your statement is. Because I've seen multiple people in the comment section basically saying that you are narrative if you, you are a casual if you feel that Ryan Garcia quit. So help me understand, how can I possibly be a casual? And I didn't say Ryan Garcia quit, but help me understand this. Because I initially thought this, but help me understand this. I've been watching boxing since 1987. The only time where there was a gap in my time watching boxing was when I was in college, because you're so busy in college that you don't necessarily have the time. And a little bit of high school as well. I didn't watch it as much because I was playing high school basketball. And I've been watching the sport like 30 years. I actually used to box amateur. Now, I never actually had an amateur fight, but I used to actually go in the ring. I used to spar. I used to, when I was 15, 16, 17, but I actually did it when I was actually 15, 16 or 14, 15, 16. And I also did it when I was in college. I've been hit in the stomach. Shit hurts. So just because I think based off what I seen, he quit, that doesn't mean you're a casual. Man, Andy Ruiz said he quit. Thought he quit. Berto said he thought he could go on. We're not the only people that said that thought he. Yeah. Oh, I didn't see that interview. We're not the only ones that thought he. So you're telling me that Andre Berto is a casual? Andy Ruiz is a casual? Guys, we got to stop. We got to stop that. When you look at what happened with Ryan Garcia, it looked like he could have tried to press forward. at least attempted to press forward. My thought is when you saw Ryan Garcia on one knee, he looked resigned to quit. He looked resigned to the fact that he knew that this fight was over and that he was not going to be victorious. As a matter of fact, if you go look at the live stream, I said if Ryan don't do something in the next couple of rounds, the fight is over because he looks like he's starting to wilt. Like he's looking like he doesn't believe he can win. Am I wrong, Jay?
Yeah.
So these are the things, man, that, we got to start coming together as a boxing community and say, hey, you know what? I disagree with what you're saying. This is my thought on it, but it doesn't necessarily make you a casual. It makes you someone who has a different opinion. And that's what's great about the sport. That's what's great about the channel, because we welcome everybody on the channel that have different opinions and say different things. I mean, I don't want a monolith. I don't want people coming in and saying that at this point, we become a fan channel. I want people to come in and give a different perspective, a different opinion, whether or not we agree with it or not. So let's stop doing that. But in my opinion, he could have gone on. Am I going to go as far as saying that he just quit and he has no heart? I'm not going to go that far. But I think that he could have made an attempt to go on. And I think he was resigned to the fact that, listen, I just got hit in the body. The shit hurt. And at the end of the day, I ain't going to win this fight because the last 3 rounds is not going my way. I don't think I can beat this dude. Let me reset and come back. Jay, what are your thoughts on that?
Now, see, I was thinking the same mindset. I know the liver shots are debilitating, but a few things that bothered me that made me think it was something different. Maybe he had a pre-existing injury with the rib. But when he got hit, he took 2 steps back, looked at Tank, then took a knee, looked at Tank again, took his head, put his head down, looked up, he's bleeding from the nose. It's like Tank, that shot beat the fight out of him. Wasn't just necessarily a liver shot, it beat the fight out of him. So as soon as the referee got to 10, he popped straight up.
He did.
Right?
Facts.
Went to his corner. No problem. Talked afterwards. Talked to the post-fight pressure and everything was no problem. When I've seen people get hit in the liver, they go down. They take a knee. They don't pop up so easy like that. I watched the epilogue also. After about 19 minutes in, they pan to the back scene of Ryan going back to the dressing room. He's high. There are people giving him hugs and everything on that same injured side now. That same injured side. So if it's the rib, I'm thinking the rib. I don't know if it's the floating rib or a different one of the other ribs on there. They're hugging him on that side. He's reaching around. No grimaces on the face or anything. So I don't know. It bothered me on that early on. I was like, okay, I gave credit. I still give Ryan credit, all the credit in the world for getting up after that shot in the second round. He could have packed it in then. He didn't. So I gave him credit. It was just questionable to me in that 7th round when he got hit, the way he went down and everything that happened underneath, and his own words. His own words after he got knocked down, he said, Joe came to it. Did it hit that rib part at all, Ryan? Yeah. Joe Goosen, I knew it. Ryan, I didn't want to continue because of my rib. He didn't want to continue because of the rib. So
Fact.
How bad was it? How bad was that? How bad is that injury? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe it's a different era that I grew up in. I was used to watching certain fighters fight through certain adversity. But if he hadn't popped it like he did after the referee counted him out and all the other things that happened afterwards, I would feel a different way. It just bothers me seeing all the footage I saw at the end of that fight. It made me think different because initially I was like, everyone else is a liver shot. If he had a pre-existing injury, that shot there, that definitely hurt. But he said, I didn't want to continue. Not that I couldn't, I didn't want to.
Yeah.
That's key for me on that. I mean, he still has a chance to go on to record his career because his career is not over, far from over. He's still a big draw. He's still fast as shit. Still got some power. Now at 140, whew, I don't see him beating any top dogs at the 140. I don't see that happening, but we'll see.
Hey, man, let me pause here very quickly, man, because I got to show love to the people that are in chat. Brandon House, salute from Uppercuts Boxing Nation. That is a boxing group that we are currently in on Facebook. Go check them out. Brandon House, salute Uppercuts Boxing Nation. T Ward, the Mic Check Podcast. Everybody know about T Ward and the podcast, the Mic Check Podcast. That's like a sister channel to us. You'll see them on our channel. We are always on their channel. Make sure you go subscribe to T Ward and the Mic Check Podcast. Who else do we have in the building, man? I gotta give love to the folks that we got in the building that I know I see all the time. Levi Anthony, I always see you in the chat section, man. What's going on with you? My big bro, Jason Williams, because I'm pretty sure you're way older than me. Jason Williams got to be 70 years old. Jason Williams is in the building. That's my guy. What's up with you, bro? Big Dose 513, what's going on with you? Marley Mall, what's going on with you, man? I got to stop and show love to the people that support the channel all day, every day. And I'm waiting for Brenda McDonald. That's my girl. She is the queen of AM sports media. That's what I've deemed her. That's what I feel she is. I'm waiting to see her in the chat section. Jay, man, I think everything that you said is on point, man. Let me pause and just basically say this, man, before we go any further. Man, shout out to Ryan Garcia, because at the end of the day, Ryan didn't have to take this fight. He could have went on doing the same shit he was doing, fighting guys that we all know that he was going to beat. But instead, he took the opportunity, man, to be great. He took the risk of being great. He may have not gone the game plan wasn't there. He didn't do it in the appropriate way, but he still took the risk of being great, man. And guess who are the benefits of Ryan Garcia, or the people who benefit from Ryan Garcia taking the risk to become great? We are. Yep, you are, Jason. I am. Everybody that was in the chat. But so we got to give Ryan Garcia the love and respect that he deserves. We can't be the people that say, hey, these fighters got to stop ducking each other. They got to be willing to take risk, and then shit on a fighter when he does. Ryan took a risk. He will get love and support from this channel. He has been nothing but humble and grateful and gracious in defeat. And so, yeah, I'm going to show him love. And I suggest everybody in the chat also show Ryan Garcia love. Now, his promoter, he's talking crazy. If you want to go at his promoter, by all means, go at his promoter. But Ryan Garcia should be applauded. He should be praised, and he will get love on this channel. Period. End of story.
He gets some love.
He will get no, fuck that. He will get love, and don't think that I ain't catch that shit when you talking about somebody I was old. Motherfucker, you older than me. But at the end of the day, you're old bastard. You think I forget that shit? I ain't forgot it. You're an old bastard.
You forget a lot of shit because you're old.
I do. I do, but I'm not as old as you.
I give Ryan credit. I give Ryan credit for taking the fight.
You gotta give him credit, bro.
But see, the thing, I give him credit for taking the fight. I mean, I would take the fight too if the money I'm gonna be making off the fight. But it pissed me off because he backed out last year.
All the shit he did. He did it this year.
All the shit last year.
He did it this year. He did it this last year. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
I do. That shit don't go away with me. That shit don't go away with me.
Listen.
So
I'm gonna give him credit.
I give him credit for taking the fight, getting in the ring. I give him credit for getting up after the first knockdown.
Listen,
and we'll see what he does from here on out. In 140, at 140, he's in a hell of a spot at 140. You got Regis, you got Taylor, you got Gary Antoine Russell.
I don't disagree with that.
So I mean, and then the other cat Tyson.
But hold on. Because I'm gonna say something controversial though. I'm gonna say something controversial. If Terence Crawford take the Errol Spence fight, will I erase everything that he said did leading up to that point? No. But if he takes the fight, bruh, I gotta give him some love. You took the fucking fight. It's beneficial for fight fans when fighters make the big fights. So I can't shit on a man when he takes a big fight. I can't. So I'm gonna give him some love. So give him some. So now Terence Crawford is a different beast, right? Because he's been doing some things for years. Ryan Garcia just been doing some things for a few months. But I will give Terence Crawford more love if he come. Man, I may even do a documentary on Terence Crawford similar to what we did for Errol Spence strap season. It's out. Go check it out. 26,000 views. Go check that out. I may do something even similar to that, Jay, if Terence Crawford actually accepts this fight. Should I, Jay? What are your thoughts on that? Should I do one?
Yeah, you should do one. Should do it anyway.
No, ain't no anyway.
Do it for Jason Williams and Brenda.
No, fuck that. I don't like them. I like them, but I don't like them that much. Jay,
Yeah.
And it better be an hour-long documentary. Man, fuck out of here.
It's gonna be titled "Tomato Cans."
Oh, damn, that's cold. That's
So
cold.
it definitely get an hour.
So hold on. For those of you who do not know, or for those of you who are new to AM Sports Media, we don't just do, live shows. We don't just do clips during the week. We do fight breakdowns. We do documentaries. But when we do a documentary, because the truth behind Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford was not a documentary in my mind. It was more so about, hey, this is what we've seen. But when we do a documentary, man, it is wholly unbiased. It's about your accomplishments. It's about outlining, documenting your accomplishments. That's it. So we're not going to give our opinions on those documentaries. They are for everyone. So make sure you guys understand that. Harrison Brooks, Jason, I want to pause, JJ. I know you found something funny, but I want to pause very quickly. Harrison Brooks just became a member of the channel. Harrison Brooks, I want to thank you, salute to you, because it's the people like you who make our channel possible. You guys are the ones that make it possible for us to do the documentary. So, Jason Williams, since you want a Terence Crawford documentary, I challenge you to become a member of the channel. Thank you, sir. Your contribution is appreciated.
Yes, sir.
Jay, let me pause here real quickly, man, and say we got 118 people in the building. We got 44 likes. If you get the opportunity, guys, please hit the like button or the dislike button if you don't like the content, but make sure that you are engaging. And also, if you look at the lower right-hand corner, there is a little button there. It says subscribe. Click on that and become a member of the family, right? Become a subscriber. Our subscribers are like family members. We come in, we fuss, we fight, we love on each other, but it's always all love. Come and join and be a part of the family. And let's go ahead, Jay, and give shout outs to the people that, support us, the Boxing Source, Manager Marty, Showboating, the Mic Check Podcast, definitely Chicken Talk, aka Lefty, is amazing. He has an amazing show every Saturday on Twitter Spaces. Go check it out. And his channel is called Chicken Talk. You can catch it here 11 a.m. every Saturday morning. Jake Donovan, who is a part of Boxing Scene, who has been on this show, also is one of the individuals that host the show, man. Amazing content. Jay, where do we go from here, bro? It's all on you, man. I'm letting you drive.
Yeah, well, let's go. And since you kind of led us to the Bud EJ, let's talk about that date that came out, that July 22nd date. Was it July 22nd? I think that was the date.
Yeah, it was July 22nd.
Yeah. So, I don't know if you saw the interview that Frank Martin did the other day, because he was at the fight in Texas and they interviewed him, and he was talking about how, he might be fighting coming back in June, July. And I saw Fight Hack that kind of alluded to, like, he was talking about he might be on the undercard of EJ Bud fight. I'm not giving that really too much life until it actually comes into fruition and happens, because we've been burned before. So I ain't believing none of this shit until they actually sign. They are both announced. They have their press conferences and they're in the damn ring. I ain't falling for that shit no more. Ain't happening.
So, Jay, can I jump in real quick?
Yeah.
So, number one, I want to absolve my partner, Jason, of all prior videos where we predicted the date, where we predicted that the fight would be announced the next day. All involvement with announcing the fight, I want to take full responsibility for any time we did that in the past. Because Jason is timid, he is fragile.
Oh, this what we going out? Oh, you know what, Greg? You know what? Fuck you, Greg. How about that?
Hey, man, I'm trying to show you some love. Hey.
Take that love elsewhere. We don't need that shit over here.
All right, fine. So at the end of the day,
Go do it like
AM Sports Media, bro. We have made mistakes.
You ain't shit.
I never told you I was shit. I tell you that shit all the time. I never told you I was shit. I never told you I was worth a damn. So you telling me that don't make no fucking difference to me. AM Sports Media, we've been around now for a little over a year. Just based off the growth, we've been able to make contact, build relationships with people that have contacts with other people that I can guarantee you these people have contact with people who are executives in boxing, who are tied and related to a certain boxer's circle. And so information will flow to them, and information by default ends up flowing to us. These negotiations, all of this stuff is very fluid and it changes rapidly and constantly. That was something that I didn't realize. And Jay, I'm pretty sure that you didn't realize it either.
Hell no.
So we did a video saying, oh man, we got the information, man. We know that this is coming from a reliable source. Let's put it out. And it turned out to be a situation where it didn't materialize. That's not the fault of Jason. It's not the fault of the person that gave us the information. It's just things change. And so I can tell you from that point to all the way to today, we've heard multiple stories in regards to Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we ain't post shit. We learned our lessons well from the first time we posted it. You know what we said? Until we are 99.9% confident that the shit is going to actually happen, we ain't reporting a goddamn thing. And I think the situation with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford is substantially different because of the individuals that are involved. So yeah, the date that we heard, the July 22nd date, and the day before we had heard a different date, and that the fight wasn't necessarily done. And so when we heard the next day, oh, it's done, it's July 22nd, notice we didn't do a video. Shit, we weren't going to do anything because like that contradicts what we heard. And and then we heard other information from other people that were giving us information that was saying the fight would be announced Monday or Tuesday. The fight is not in July. We've heard multiple things, man. And so my thought was like, I'm not rolling off this cliff anymore. Let's see. Tunnel Vision cooked us. Jason Williams cooked us. G.A. Peach cooked us. I don't like getting cooked. Jay, I don't know about you, but I don't like getting cooked. So
especially when you can't do nothing to refute it. You can't do nothing.
I can't refute it. I came on here brave. Jay, it was a couple of times I told you before we even got on the show, I said they're gonna cook my ass. They are going to cook me. It is what it is. This is a tough job, hosting a YouTube channel, man. You got to have very thick skin, Jay. So that's where we are with that. Based off our understanding, the July 22nd date is false. We're not even sure if the fight is actually signed. From what we heard, Terence Crawford has not signed his end of the deal yet. So all this stuff about the fight is done is on July 22nd. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't make sense. It's false. And you won't get a video from us until we are 99.9% sure this is going to get announced.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I mean, I'm just tired. I mean, that's like you said earlier, once we got into getting more communication from some of the people we speak with and give us information, we realize how fluid it is. And the shit is just wow. It's like, it's crazy. And when you're dealing with certain individuals, i.e. the boxers that are ones that's supposed to be signing, and certain of them have certain type of personalities that want to price themselves out, that makes things a lot more strenuous. Things that were going one way, then all of a sudden they switch it up, So that kind of leads us a good segue about the people we have hanging on over my right shoulder, over your left shoulder, Mike Tyson. What Mike Tyson said to Usman about Bud.
No, I got to jump in here and talk about this.
That's why I set it up like that.
I'm mad, Jason. So there were some people who were in the comment section that said, Greg, the reason why you couldn't pronounce his name, you were trying to indicate that he was African. You were trying to call that out. When I informed him that my wife is Liberian and that the vast majority of my family is from that continent, then the argument changed that I'm intelligent. Why can't I pronounce his name? I fucking suck with names. Jason sucks with everything else, but I suck with names. The reason why I put that out there, motherfucker. No, fuck you, because I knew you were about to say some shit. That's why I said Jason sucks with everything else. I caught your monkey ass, didn't I? But I'm not good. I'm not good with names.
Bully.
So this dude. Okay, that's a little inside joke, guys. Okay. At the end of the day, I'm not good with names. So yeah, man, I pronounced the dude's name wrong. We're not an MMA show. I don't follow MMA, and so I didn't know his name. The only part that was pertinent to me was what Mike Tyson said. So it doesn't have anything to do with a person being African. I struggle with the vice president's name because my wife always correct me on the vice president name. I fuck it up every time. I'm shitty with K's, I guess. So Jay, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it back to you now. All right. I almost called you a nasty ass name, bro. Go ahead, man. What's your thoughts?
Oh man. Hey, Jason Williams, you right, spot on, my man, spot on. That gotta be the reason, or because he's from Orlando or something, either or. But
no, fuck that. No. What school did you graduate from? What school you graduated from?
What?
What school did you graduate from?
USF.
Okay then. Enough said.
But I can pronounce most names though. I don't struggle with K's.
Fuck you and your name. No, I don't. Cool JC20 says I do not struggle with Bob's name.
Oh, Cool JC20 says gotcha. Oh man. But now what Mike said that Bud can't sell. He's pricing himself out because he really don't put asses in seats worthy of what he's asking for. Now I don't agree with Mike saying that Bud can't sell 5,000 seats because he did about just under 15,000 at his last fight against David Evanesian. So that's wrong on Mike, but I agree with his principle, what Mike was talking about as far as trying to ask for some money that you're not worth fully because you're not marketable in that way. You know, skill wise, yeah, that's one thing. The eye test, yeah, that's one thing, but that's not paying the bills. It's putting asses, cheeks, in seats. Mm-hmm. You're not known to do that, not to that level, to demand the money that you're trying to say. Right. So,
man, to the point that you made, Mike Tyson, the 5,000 that was incorrect. But incorrect. This is a topic that I do want to pause on because there were so many people in the comment section, man, talking shit about this comment, saying that we were lying, so forth and so on. Bud packs out every arena that he fights in. At the David Evanesian fight at the Shy Center, they said on air that there were 14,000 people there in attendance.
Yep.
When they panned the crowd, you could see empty seats. The report said that it was around 11,000. So he didn't pack out the arena. They did pack out the arena for Sean Porter versus Terence Crawford. That fight, I'm trying to remember the arena, man. I think it was the MGM Grand or something like the Michelob something. I can't recall. But at the end of the day, that actual arena filled 12,000. They had 11,500 there. They packed that out. His prior fight with Mean Machine, that fight did about 10,000 in terms of ticket sales. And the Madison Square Garden holds 21,000. So they had half the capacity there. He does not sell. Shut that shit up. Don't come in the comment section talking about he packs out every arena he's in. That's bullshit. He doesn't. He doesn't sell. I get the premise of what Mike Tyson was saying.
Yeah.
And I think what Mike Tyson was pointing out was what we've all known is that he doesn't sell. That's the kicker. That's part of the reason why this fight has not been made. Terence Crawford doesn't sell. Now, don't get me wrong. I think you're going to have the same effect that you've had in the past with fighters that are, big time like fighters in terms of skills when you match them with another big time fighter in terms of skills who also has a draw, or has drawing power. You're going to see a big time fight in terms of pay-per-view, in my opinion. I think you're going to see something similar to Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia if this fight is made. But in and of himself, by himself, he does not sell. Spence does.
Nope.
So he needs to get on board and make the fight.
Yeah, you're right, Greg. So it was under 12,000 that he sold when he fought when Terence Crawford and Porter fought. It was 11,586 fans at the Michelob Ultra Arena in Paradise, Nevada.
Michelob Ultra Arena, okay. And I think it has a capacity of 12,000.
So.
No. Let me pause. My guy, Manager Marty, is in the building. We talked to you guys about Manager Marty earlier in this show. Manager Marty, that's our guy. That's who we screw with. We fuck with. Go subscribe to his channel, Manager Marty. That's our guy. What's up, Manager Marty, man? He is in the building. Happening? Go ahead, Jay.
So Greg, I just looked up when EJ fought Porter. That was at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. They had 16,702.
When EJ fought Spence, is that what you said?
I mean, I said that, but I meant Porter.
Oh, okay.
When EJ fought Porter, that was 16,702 for that one.
What's the capacity on the arena?
Huh?
What's the capacity on the arena?
Let me see. Staples Center.
I'm still
about 20,000.
Jay, I got to admit, I'm still a little bit upset with Cool JC26 who called me out about Bob Arum. I think he might be right. Even sometime when I'm saying his name, I feel like I'm about to say it wrong. I tell you, man, you got to have thick skin to be a content creator, man. Everybody calls you out from all directions.
Man.
Man. Go ahead, bro. What you about to say?
Hey, just call him Bob, man. Just call him Old Bob.
Wait, say it again, Bob. See, David, what is it? Dave
Harrison Brooks.
Dave Skate all day. Man, listen, guys, I don't mind getting cooked. I got tough skin. Y'all can cook me all you want to. I ain't mad at you.
We don't care. Neither one of us care, honestly.
I ain't perfect.
I just want to say quick shout out to Jay Reddy for the $5 donation. We appreciate that. I saw that earlier. I just want to make sure we didn't miss you on that, bro.
Jay Reddy is another member of the channel.
One of our day ones.
Guys, one of our day ones. Guys, if you get the opportunity, become a member of the channel. This is the way that we are able to create these, documentaries. The truth behind Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford. Strap season. Errol Spence quest to become undisputed. We did one on Boots Ennis. These fight breakdowns, all this stuff is how we're able to do it from the people that actually support the channel. Become a member if you can. We would greatly appreciate it. And by the way, while you're in here, we got 131 people, 71 likes. If you get the opportunity, please hit that like button. And also look at the lower right-hand corner. There's a subscribe button down there in the lower right-hand corner. Click on that. Become a part of the family. AM Sports Media, we are a family. We come in here, we talk, we have fun, we crack on each other. It is what it is, but it's always enjoyable and a good time. Jay, what's the next thing we need to cover, man? We got a lot of things that we had in our description that I don't think we even got to yet. We have 50 minutes, bro.
So let's go ahead and move on over to get the sad part out of the way. AB. What's going on with AB, man? Adrien Broner, not Baumgartner.
God, I miss Baumgartner. Anyway,
Yeah.
damn boy, you said like you were about to come. Damn, I shouldn't. My bad, guys. Anyway, so Adrien Broner, I don't know, man. We've heard this story before with AB, man, talking about that, he has certain vices. We understand the vices that he has. We mentioned it on several occasions, bro, that everybody has a vice, right? But we all face those vices and we find ways to overcome them and excel. And Adrien Broner, every year it feels like he's coming to us with this admission that he has all these vices and that he's going to change everything. He's going to turn it all around. He's going to get on the right foot. And he's gonna, come back to the Adrien Broner that we've seen in the past, and we never see it actually materialize, Jay. So I don't know, man. I think we're at the end with Adrien Broner. I think he's done.
Damn it, Greg! You about to make us lose people, man.
What happened?
Oh, forget it.
Hold on, I'm reading it now. I'm sorry, I was talking.
He's getting his AARP cards, fellas, people, everyone in the chat. So y'all got to excuse him. He a little senile. He losing it. He losing a little bit.
No. Okay.
I apologize on his behalf.
Guys.
But
Jason, hold on, Jason. When you and I agreed to do this channel, we said that we were going to bring our chats to the channel. Did we not say that? Did we not say that?
So
yes or no?
So about Adrien
yes or no, man. Yes or no? Yes or no?
We ain't say nothing about. Oh, you sound like we ain't say nothing about no shit. Like we don't say. We didn't even talk about it in no chat.
Bro, we didn't say that we were bringing the chat to the channel. We didn't say that because we've said way worse in the chat. The point is, we're bringing the chat to the channel. But we tried to put a filter on it. That's my bad. But the way you said it, dog, I thought you had wet your pants. Go ahead, bro.
But anyway, yeah. Now, Adrien Broner, man, he really. I mean, all this is self-inflicted. So it's hard to be completely 100% bad for him because it's self-inflicted. But he did get screwed over with what happened with BLK Prime. With that fight not happening. That wasn't his fault. The 3 fights, opponents falling out.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't think he was in shape to actually fight during in February. To be honest with you, I didn't. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, he was in shape to fight, but what weight class is the question? If it's 154, 147, 140, 160. So that's the question with AB. But with AB, I just hope this is another chance he's getting. He's like a cat. He has like 9 lives. He's definitely on life number 8. At the very least, 7, 8 or 9.
I agree.
Something like that. He's up there, man, because you don't get this many chances. Right now, he doesn't have anywhere else to go, honestly, except for a bare knuckle boxing next. Because he's down to Don King right now. That's the bottom of the barrel right now.
Okay.
So, I mean, has anyone watched a Don King production fight recently?
I haven't.
I have just surfing on that and I've caught it. It ain't good. It wasn't good. So, but Adrien Broner, I mean, we'll see what he does. He didn't show up to that press conference. Neither did Don King. So we'll see. I mean, June 9th is their fight date. We'll see what happens on that. If he's done, gets another fight, then it won't be against a top fighter. He's not getting the championship. He's not getting a title fight. He's not deserving of one. He hasn't done nothing. And I still think that he lost his last fight, honestly. So he can sell a fight, but that's about it.
Man, we got Bruce Gas in the building, man. Don King has lounge chairs surrounding the ring. Bruce Gas is in the building.
You're right. I remember seeing that too.
Anyway, bro, anything else we want to cover in regards to Adrien Broner, dude?
Maybe. Nah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what he does from here on out. But yeah. But on to the next topic. Max on boxing.
I knew this where you were going. I just looked at the list of things that we need to still cover. I knew that's where you were going.
Max on boxing. He talked about Shakur, and he would be the prohibited favorite or substantial favorite over Tank if they were to fight. Now I like both fighters. So does Greg. We think Shakur passes the eye test on everything, but he has to prove himself at 135. Because 135 is a different game than what he had at 130. For me, him at 130, he was a bully. He came in there. We saw how he looked against Oscar Valdez. He was huge compared to Oscar. Mm-hmm. Now he would be Oscar either way because his skills was that much better. But just looking at size, he's a lot bigger than Oscar in the ring on that. Now him at 135, fighting someone like Tank, I don't think he's going to box Tank's ears off. I don't think he's going to knock Tank out either. But I think it's going to be a hell of a fight. It's close to a 50-50 fight to me, just because of Shakur's how good he is in defense. But Tank has shown such an IQ, a high boxing IQ over all his last 5 or 6 fights. He's shown with different ways of getting people up out of there. He's fought different types of fighters in almost each of those fights as well. So I don't know which way but I don't agree with Max saying Shakur has a huge, he's a huge favorite over Tank in that fight, and neither does Vegas. The betting odds don't say that either. They have Tank as a favorite.
So let me preface my comments by saying this. I have a lot of respect for Max Kellerman. Clearly an intelligent guy. If I'm not mistaken, Max graduated from an Ivy League school, so I'm 100% sure that he's a very smart and intelligent guy. But some of the things that he says are clearly company man statements, right? I mean, you think about Shakur Steveonson and the fact that he's with Top Rank, and Top Rank is affiliated with ESPN. So it is beneficial to him to make these types of statements. Now, in the past, I always thought that Kellerman was above making these types of statements and that he was really into just kind of the purity of the sport. But he's shown over the last couple of years that he is not above making these types of statements that are outlandish, statements that are clearly biased, statements that are clearly beneficial to the entity that he is employed by. And so, those are the things that we got to point out. And I'm not saying that Shakur Steveonson could not or would not beat Gervonta Davis. At this point, I have not sat down and looked at the film to really determine whether or not I feel Shakur would actually be victorious in that fight. But to say that he would be a prohibitive favorite, to say that he would be a substantial favorite over Gervonta Davis when he's only had one fight at 135 pounds, and the fighters that he fought at 130 were not killers. They were not fighters that would suggest that he would come to 135 pounds and just dominate at that weight class. The comment is absolutely ridiculous. Now, prior to that, he made, and Jay, correct me if I'm wrong, he made several comments around Terence Crawford and Errol Spence and the fact that Al Heyman is afraid to actually make these fights. He'll only make the fights when it is clear that his fighter will win the fight. If it's a 50-50 fight or anything like that, he's not going to make that fight. And that's the reason why a fight like Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence has been delayed. That's the reason why a fight like Shakur Steveonson and Gervonta Davis would never be made because he's afraid. It's clear to me that Kellerman has a beef with Al Heyman, and he's had that beef for a very long time. Whether that's because Al Heyman fleeced HBO or some other reason, but it's clear to me that he's trying to do damage to PBC now. He continues to try to present a platform where it's unbiased by saying things like Al Heyman is always welcome to come on the show and make a comment refuting the things that he says. Why would have you ever seen Al Heyman on the Showtime show? Why the fuck Al Heyman has a contract with Showtime? Why the fuck would he go to ESPN when we've never even seen him on Showtime? This shit makes no fucking sense. So none. I mean, and again, the comment that you made, the Vegas lines, don't get me wrong, it will be closer at the point in which you get closer to the fight. But there's no way in hell that there is any Vegas line that would have Shakur Steveonson as a prohibitive favorite over Tank. Even Shakur Steveonson doesn't have himself as a prohibitive favorite, considering the fact that he said that he has to be on his absolute P's and Q's to beat Tank and talked about the level of IQ that Tank Davis currently has and has displayed when they have sparred in the past. Although I don't really think a whole lot of sparring. The fact remains that he has a high level of respect for this man, so he doesn't even consider himself a prohibitive favorite over Gervonta Davis. So how the fuck do you, Max Kellerman? Shit makes no sense at all.
Facts. Trackman 87, you're right. Al Heyman is like the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain. You're right. He moves in silence. But it's just crazy. It's like, we know Max is doing that just to try to get rating. He's basically pulling a move out of Oscar, just clout chasing. Because he's like, well, you're always welcome to come. Al has no reason to come on the show for you. You're not worth it, quite frankly. You know, it's not a need. It's no need for that.
I totally agree. Man, what he's doing is basically doing what Top Rank has done for years. And it is tie your fighter to the hottest and biggest name in the sport in and around your weight class to help to promote the name of your fighter. That's what Top Rank has done since the Floyd Mayweather Manny Pacquiao days. That's what they do. I ain't mad at it, but we should recognize that is what is occurring. That's what occurred with Manny. That's what's currently occurring with Keyshawn Davis. That's probably what's occurring now with Shakur Steveonson. You will hear more and more a debate around Shakur Steveonson and Gervonta Davis. Trust me on that. That's the next great debate. That's the next great divide relative to the sport of boxing.
Yep, agreed. You know, it's just like you said earlier, like Shakur even said that, you know, he has to be on his A game. So he's not saying that he just washes Tank easily like that. You know, the way Max makes it seem like it's not even close. I don't even know.
Exactly. I don't know if Tank wins.
Shakur at 135 as well. So
yeah, at this point, I don't know if Tank wins. I mean, I need more from Shakur. At this point, I would pick Tank because I don't have enough from Shakur. But I don't know 100% that Shakur doesn't win the fight. I don't know. I mean, when you look at him, he looks good, right, Jay?
Yeah. No, he definitely looked good. You know, but I want to see what he does in the ring. You know, I think that'll be a chess match. You know, I think people need to respect Tank's boxing IQ more and more.
Hey, Jason Williams said, is thanking Al before God and family a PBC thing? I don't know, man. Maybe Al is like a religion. I don't know. Jay.
So while we on ESPN, last thing would be someone mentioned earlier about Teofimo Lopez. ESPN can keep the black fighters.
I hate this topic,
because Teo brought Bud Light to ESPN.
I hate this topic. You know, I hate talking about race in sports. I know a lot of people don't like to hear it, and quite frankly, I understand it because when I come to talk about sports, I come to have it without any kind of political positions, talking about all that kind of stuff. I don't care for. In the video that I did, I think, were you on that video, Jay? I think I did that video solo, right?
He did solo, yeah.
I can't necessarily say that I believe that Teofimo is quote unquote a racist, just because I saw him use the N-word multiple times in front of Devin Haney, and Devin Haney didn't say anything. So I don't know what Teofimo Lopez's background is. I do know that there are certain ethnic groups that are allowed to use that word, and in my experience, it's been Puerto Ricans. So I had for a long time thought that he was Puerto Rican because he was able to use that word. I found out later that he was Honduran. At the end of the day, it's not surprising that he made the comment just because he used the word. I'm not going to say 100% that he is racist because he used the word. But he's definitely someone who is troubled, someone who has issues both in and out of the ring, someone who is stressed out, someone who is delusional at this point. And I think all of those things contributed to those statements, Jay. I'm going to pause there and give you the opportunity to talk because you weren't on that initial video that I did. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, Tio, the thing about Tio, he's all over the place. The kid is lost and searching, and he's following his daddy's footsteps. His dad has set him up in this way. Because everything his dad says, Tio just Junior just follows suit with it. It's ridiculous as shit this cat be that says he's very delusional. I mean, he can't even accept the fact that he got his ass beat by Kambosos. He's saying that was a slip. I mean, it's the same dude that's questioning himself after he really lost to Sandor Martin. Do I still got it? No, you don't got it no more. You ran from 135, so you didn't want to fight Devin. Because I think Devin would have put them hands on. He would not saying he would knock you out, but I think he would have boxed your ears off. You get to 140, you fight one fight at 179 Martin. Now all of a sudden you're fighting Josh Taylor for a title. Make it make sense. But going back to what he said about ESPN, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about ESPN and black fighters, right? Bud, for instance. Honestly, I don't think Bud got pumped like he should have on ESPN. In my opinion, he didn't.
But Bud was done a disservice. That's where I'm going to defend Terence Crawford. He was done a disservice by ESPN.
Yeah, he definitely was. I mean, because every time you saw some shit, you didn't see Bud, you saw Loma.
Exactly.
But Loma wouldn't fight Bud. Josh Taylor wouldn't fight Bud. Bud was the best fighter on ESPN, on Top Rank. But he wasn't getting pushed. Everyone else got pushed. Now Teofimo was mad because they had a card with Big Baby, Keyshawn Davis. Who else was on that card? And Shakur. The three youngins, and they just happened to be all black. But they weren't getting the red carpet treatment like others were. Hey, and Bud should have got the red carpet treatment because he was the best fighter on ESPN on Top Rank. So that was bullshit. Tio can go to hell.
Look at that comment from Bruce Gaz. That's a fair point. That's a fair point, Jay. You see that comment from Bruce Gaz? That's a fair point.
Yeah, Tio used the N-word when talking to Haney. He didn't use it for Loma, Nakatani, and another fighter. He fought. He don't get no pass on it. That's fact. And also, ESPN, they've been promoting Tyson Fury. They promoted Loma, but, he didn't have a problem with them promoting them. But he has a problem with the black fighters.
Yeah. The only pushback I would say on that is that Loma and those guys are not of the African American community. And if you are an individual who has grown up around the African American community and you may feel more comfortable with using that word versus another community. So I can understand why he didn't use it with Loma. I'm so torn with this, Jay, and this is why I hate these types of topics. I hate them. I hate them.
I agree.
Yeah. Jay, I'm gonna pause, man. I'm done. I don't really want to talk about this no more, man. I'm gonna let you talk. I'm done.
No, I don't like it neither. It's just Tio he's lost. I don't know if I think because of I think he got that win against Loma. His head went every which way. Remember, he was supposed to fight on Triller. He's talking about he was doing something that no one else ever done for. He also claims that he was undisputed, which he was not. He still claims he's undisputed, which he was not. He was never undisputed. Nope. He also says that he didn't lose the game with Kambosos.
Don't know where he got that from.
He also says that if you watch the fight on mute against Sandor Martin, he wins clearly. And one interview I saw, they said that if you watch it, the Spanish version of it, they had Tio up 8-4. I wonder why. So it's like initially I liked Tio at first because he was different. He was knocking people out, and he was coming with something a little different. But as the more he taught and showed who he started showing his character, who he really is, I'm like, screw him. I want Josh Taylor to beat the dog shit out of him. I really do. I want Taylor to beat the dog shit out of him. And then I want Regis to get his rematch and beat the dog shit out of Taylor. So, but yeah, that's all I got on that until I just want to see him lose in June.
We got to go ahead and open up the phone lines, man. Because at the end of the day, we are nothing without the people. So we now have the phones lines open for those of you who want to call in and talk about these specific topics. Let us know. Jay, anything else that we have to cover in this one?
No, I'm just laughing at Jason Williams talking about Tio saying no more tall fighters. When he fought the Japanese guy, he was complaining about the guy being too tall.
One thing I would say is that AJ versus Deontay Wilder, there's reports out there that fight is next, and it's based off of a comment that was made by Anthony Joshua. And let me stop here, Jay, before we jump into this. Shout out to Jackie Hernandez, $4.99. We very much so appreciate everything that you guys do for us. Jackie Hernandez, shout out to you. And also, we got 134 people in the building, 91 likes. If you get the opportunity, please hit the like button or the dislike button, but make sure that you are engaged with the content. Look at the lower right-hand corner of the screen. There's a subscribe button. I know some of you guys are probably new to the channel. We are always dropping content on a daily basis, whether it's clips, whether it's our opinion, whether it's documentaries or fight breakdowns. Jason and I are always on deck on a daily basis. Come be a part of the family. And also the Mic Check Podcast, T Ward is in the building. That's family to us. Go check out his content over there. You will love T Ward. You may not love Q, but that's all good as well. Also, man, the Boxing Source, manager Marty, Showboating. Who else, Jay, did we fuck with heavy, man? Anybody else we fuck
Marty.
with? Oh, Chicken Talk. That dude,
yeah.
man. Chicken Talk is in the chat section. He has a channel. He also hosts a Spaces on Twitter on a weekly basis on Saturday. So, man, his Spaces on Twitter is fire. Go check it out. We're hearing that he's talking about it, bro. AJ, he's talking about the fact that he's going to fight Wilder in December. But, when you ask people that are associated with the zone or you ask Eddie Hearn, it doesn't sound like they are aware that a fight is on the horizon for this guy, man. So what's your thoughts on that, bro?
I mean, that'll be one of the biggest fights this year if it happens, for no titles on the line. Regardless of AJ coming off a loss, Wilder coming off a very short work against Salinas with one round. And that one, but we've been wanting this fight for how long? And truth be told, if that fight happens in December, like AJ alluded to in his video, and we somehow get the EJ Bud fight, we've already had Tank Ryan, we've already had Plant and Benavidez. We get a Benavidez Morrell, Benavidez Charlo, or Andrade, any of those fights along. We got a Nui and Cool Boy stuff fighting. This might be one of the best years in boxing as far as matches goes in a long time or ever.
Facts.
So I'm here for that AJ Wilder shit. It's years long past due, but I'm still here for it. It's gonna be. I want it.
That
fight's gonna be fire.
That fight's gonna be a motherfucker. I don't care if they both lost. We've been wanting to see these two guys in the ring for I don't know how long. Wilder's only lost to Fury. AJ's lost to Ruiz and he lost to Usyk. But at the end of the day, bro, it's just a fight. Like, I want to see that fight. Two guys who are around the same size in terms of height. Two guys that got tremendous power. Two guys that we wanted to see in the ring for years. Man, I will be, and of course I'm not going to be at the fight, but as far as like my theater room, I will be front and center for a fight like that, shelling out the cash to see it. Tremendous fight. I want to see, of course, you guys know who I'm pulling for. I'm pulling for Deontay Wilder, period. Deontay Wilder is my Southern brother. We are Southerners. And so yeah, man, I want to see Deontay win, but not only because we're Southerners, but because Deontay's energy, his mindset, the positivity that he brings to the ring, the positivity that he brings to the sport, the mannerisms and things that he displayed in the ring and outside of the ring. I fuck with Deontay Wilder. Now I'm gonna go back and say it again because I don't spare anybody. We gotta call it how we see it. When he talked about Mark Breland, I did not like that. When he talked about a heavy costume, I did not like that. When he talked about them damn gloves, that was a legit comment because those gloves look funky as fuck. But at the end of the day, Deontay Wilder, man, whether I agree with what he said or not, I support the guy. and I want to see him do well. AJ is throwing like AJ threw a wrinkle in it for me, Jay, because he now has DJ in his corner. I'm a fan of DJ, man. I'm a fan of his. I want to see him do well. But I don't think DJ overcomes the fact that I want to see Deontay Wilder do well in this sport. So that's my guy. I think he's solid. And we'll see what ends up happening.
Yeah, I mean, DJ makes it interesting for AJ, being in his corner. But they've only been together through one fight. This will be their second camp, with a long rest time between fights. So we'll see what he can put in there. He can help AJ out from a strategic standpoint. He can't change anything that's inside AJ. That's the question. I haven't seen too many fighters that have the will, the heart, the dog that Wilder has displayed. Him against Fury, man, that's just crazy. That's craziness. The way Wilder would not just stop until he couldn't compete no more in that third fight. So I mean, Wilder is crazy, man.
An absolute fucking dog. A fucking dog. Deontay Wilder, again, and I'm going to go back and say something about Deontay Wilder that's probably not popular. But when he made the statement that he only has to be perfect for 1 second, I didn't like that comment, Jay, because it's like you're relying too much on the power. You need to rely on the skills that help set up the power that ultimately get your opponent up out of the ring. Yep. So I didn't like that. And so that I didn't care for those comments. But then, man, when I saw Deontay Wilder gain more respect from me probably in defeat than he did in his victories. Because, man, I saw Wilder is an absolute dog. A dog, bruh. And it's just that simple.
Yeah, he's a straight up dog. I mean, I could see him stretching AJ, but I will say this. Since he's been training with Malik Scott, I mean, remember we saw he started working with Malik Scott, we both were just like, wonder how that's going to change anything, But I will say he's shown some subtle changes. That third fight against Tyson Fury, you saw some different things in his game. You see him training differently. But it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. Same thing with AJ. When the going gets tough, what they're going to revert back to? They're going to revert back to what they originally were. And Wilder has the dog in him. I don't think AJ has the same type of dog that Wilder has. Outside of the Klitschko fight, where AJ got up off the ground, kept coming back, and eventually stopped a 95-year-old Klitschko against Usyk, he seemed like he was happy to had a better fight in the second fight against Usyk and still lost. It seemed like he was okay with that loss. He was just did I not do better? You still lost.
Facts.
I can't accept that. Me as a competitor, I'm like, I still lost. I'm pissed. I got to figure out how to get around this guy. But he seemed like he was content with that loss. Just that he looked better. He came back, fought Andy Ruiz at distance the whole fight. Not to get close to Andy. And Andy was overconfident as well in that fight. Andy came in weighing 300 pounds. He let himself go because he was too overconfident.
I don't think he was 300 pounds, man. God damn. I don't think he was 300 pounds.
He was close.
Hey, we got to call in, man. And you know who this is. This is our guy out of L.A.
Adrien.
You are on the Angry Man podcast with Jason and Greg, and we already know who we have in the building, but we are going to allow you to tell us who we have. Who do we have in the building?
Adrien from the city of LA, baby. City of Angels. What's up, man?
Yeah. What's going on with you, Adrien?
Okay, how you guys doing, man?
Doing well, bro. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Blessed. Put a little comment in, and we're talking about Wilder, okay? You know what, man? I love Wilder, too, and I'm going to go for him, first of all, because you know what? Because I'm from the United States, brother. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'd be maybe a Mexican heritage, but I'm an American first, baby. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go for the American first. Him complaining about the gloves, there might have been a little, something funny going on there. But something that we forgot, something that people kind of swept under the rug. Didn't Bud's gloves come undone when he fought against Avanesian? And whatever became of that?
I know
did.
that
He got swept under the rug.
Avanesian. Yeah, Avanesian filed a complaint with the Nebraska State Athletic Commission, but I mean that's not. I haven't heard anything else about it, but I knew that was never going to go anywhere because that's like making an admission that you are a screw up. So you're making a case against another entity, basically saying that they should admit that they screwed up. They're never going to do that, so that was never going to go anywhere.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But the thing about it is that, but if Spence would have did that, oh man, Bud fans would have been riding on that thing right there. But Bud does it, and I'm not saying that it was on purpose. I'm not going to say all that because I don't know. But come on, man, you don't just sweep something like that under the rug. I mean, that's something that Suleiman would do. You know, that guy from the WBC, that idiot right there. Something that he would do for Canelo. You know, that's something that he would pull. And as far as Canelo goes, man. Okay, now when are we going to start? You know, I also want to get to Canelo, and I want to get to a couple divisions all in one. Canelo, and you got even I mean, I love Spence, okay, but of course, Boots is my guy. But you got Spence, you got Crawford. They're holding up the division, man. Canelo's holding up those gloves. I mean, Canelo's holding up all those belts and the 168. Benavidez can't get a shot at them. Neither can Morrell. Nobody can get a shot at them. When are we going to strip those guys from those belts and let the guys fight? So either fight or drop the belts, man.
So let me comment on that because and I'm about to give another shout out to the Mic Check podcast because they did a live stream. This was a couple of days ago. And I had to go into the comment section and kill a young lady in there who said I was good, but I went ahead and did it anyway. But they were talking about the fact that Spence is the reason why the division is being held up. And although you could make that argument, it's my opinion that in reality, Spence just wants to become undisputed, and therefore he's not necessarily holding up the division. It's more so Terence Crawford is holding up the division because he's trying to make the fight with Crawford. Now, if you want to blame Errol Spence for the fact that he had a car crash, then you're solely and I mean, at the end of the day, you can blame him for that if you want to. The eye detached retina, you can't blame him for that. Has Spence fought the requisite number of times that we would like as fans? No. But if you look at Terence Crawford history over the last 5 years, he's actually fought the same number of times and made the same number of defenses. That's why when I was in the comment section, I made the comment that this whole panel is comical because they're not making the comments around Terence Crawford. Their whole argument was that Errol Spence was holding up the division when Terence Crawford is not fighting either. So I'll say this: T-War brings a lot of logic and rationale to the Mic Check podcast. So you guys really need to go over there and check that guy out, man. He brings fire. So at the end of the day, it just both. You can make the argument that Spence is holding up the division, but Spence is really holding up the division because he wants to make the fight with Crawford. He wants to be undisputed. Yeah. That's my point.
And I agree with you 100% right there. And like, I don't mean to blame Spence. I'm not saying that. I'm not really going to say that. Maybe I worded it wrong. But I do blame Bud for that. I mean, Bud backed out, but that's because he also, he was given the backdoor deal to go to BLK Prime, whatever. They gave him a way out. This time he doesn't got a way out. And I heard that Rocha, his supposed mandatory, already has a fight schedule with somebody else. So that's kind of putting Crawford really in a corner. He's really pushed against the wall now. So hopefully he's actually going to make the fight. But like you said, I think Crawford's trying to outprice himself, man, to find a way to get out of this fight. It doesn't seem like he really wants it. I'm not going to say he's scared of Spence, but he's scared of losing that man. I mean, really. And if anybody knows anything about boxing history, I love boxing, man. Leonard, Hagler, Hearns, Benitez, all Duran. Nobody went undefeated. They all fought each other, man. They all did it. They all went at each other, man. Nobody had to know back then. And they're all legends. They're all legends, man. But right now, these days, you got to be undefeated to be anything now. And I don't like that, man. Let them fight. Hey, if you lose, it's all right. I mean, you went down your shield. It's all good. You can come back. And we got to start doing that again, man, because back in those days, man, the best fought the best. And now it's like it don't really happen anymore. It doesn't happen anymore. That's why I don't like fights marinating too long because then they never happen. Marinate them a little bit, but boom, get in the ring and do it. Like, that's why I want Benavidez to fight Morrell next. That's a great fight, awesome fight, and it'll sell, and it'll be a dangerous fight for Benavidez. But let him do it right now. Morrell wants it. Let him do it. Let Boots fight who he wants right now, man. Boots is down. Boots will clean the division out, but he's got to be given the opportunity. So, I'm just to make a long story short. I mean, these guys got to be down to lose your O. Quit worrying about it, man. Just do it, man. That's why I love Benavidez. Benavidez is down to fight. You know, that's one thing I can give to him. He's down to fight, man. Whereas, you know, and I don't know how long Spence is going to wait. I mean, I love Spence, but I don't think Bud wants to fight, man. I really don't.
Yeah. At some point, he has to move the fuck on.
Yeah, he does. Because Bud's just playing games, man. It seems to me. Hopefully, I'm wrong, but that's what it seems like to me, man. And Canelo's another story, man. That guy, he's just a damn Doug. Man, I can't stand that fool, man. Canelo's just got to just give up his belts, let Benavidez and all them fight for him, man, because Canelo ain't going to do shit, man. Canelo ain't going to do shit about that. And I heard something about the WBC, Sullivan. He's the one that came out and made that special thing just for Canelo, right? I mean, that special belt thing where he doesn't got to worry about his mandatories in the WBC because, I mean, come on, man. We got to quit being racist here, man. I don't give a damn if you're Mexican, you're American, you're African American. I don't care. The best should be fighting the best, man. Case closed. And we shouldn't be protecting anybody. But Sullivan, man, he's over here protecting Canelo, man. It's like, I don't like that crap, man. I don't like that. And let me say something else, too. Any real Mexican that I know out here in the L.A. area, man, we love Tank, man. We love Tank. We love Tank, man. So don't be giving all this crap, this and that, man. We love a great fighter, man. And Tank, I love Tank, man. I was going for Tank against Ryan. Shoot. So it's like, man, so we got to quit, deriding on these fools that ain't going to be doing things the right way, and just let them all fight, man. Let them get down, man. I want to see, hopefully Haney can beat Lomachenko, and if he does, I want to see Haney fight against Tank. Easy as that. Easy as that, man.
Facts.
But, yeah. So, hey, I don't want to take too much of your time. I've been ranting off too much today, but I just want to appreciate the platform right here that you speak out here. Appreciate it. I want to send a shout out to my dad in heaven. Love you, Dad. And to my son, Jeremiah. Love you too, son. And Jason and Greg, keep it up, man. I'll be listening right now, man. Appreciate it.
All right. Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate
Thanks for calling in.
You got it, man. Take it easy, bro. Bye.
Hey, Adrien just really
My dude, Adrien.
Yeah, he just really highlighted what this channel is all about. It's about providing a platform, Jay. It's not just about what we say. It's about what everybody else says. And community. And I have strong opinions. Sometimes they're right and sometimes they're fucking wrong. You are on the Angry Man podcast with Jason and Greg. Who do we have in the building?
One and only T-Man. What's up?
I kind of figured this was you. What's up, bro?
Yeah,
What's up, bro?
me. I ain't hear nothing from Tunnel, but still waiting for that.
Yeah, man. I think Tunnel might have been busy this week, man. Yeah, I think he might be busy, bro.
I tell him I'm not. It can be next week. So I'm gonna stop. Don't duck though. Whatever.
No. He Tunnel ain't ducking nobody, bro. Trust me.
All right. Yeah.
Well, what's going on with you, Terence, man? What's up with you?
Yeah, I just nothing much. I just got a few points to make real quick if I can.
Yeah, bro. Of course.
Okay. The first point I want to make is Tyson need to shut the F up. I mean, Mike Tyson ain't seen no damn contract. And talking about 5,000 seats. What the hell is he talking about? I mean, he's smoking too much. I mean, Mike, man, relax, bro. I mean, you want to see the fight, right? You making it worse, bro, talking this nonsense. Just shut up and let them see if they're going to make this fight, bro. Because Mike Tyson needs to shut up. That man was taking 65-30, Mike. Taking way less than what he was worth. He was trying to make the fight, and the fight still might happen. So, Mike, yeah, that's the first thing. Mike need to shut the hell up. Second thing is, Errol Spence ain't never fought a 50-50 fight, bro. Y'all keep saying his resume is better than Bud. Let's look at the numbers. The closest fight this man ever had was against Kell Brook. And that was at 130. And Lamont Peterson, 2,100. Ocampo, 5,400. Mikey Garcia, -400. Sean Porter, damn near -900. Danny Garcia, -345. Ugas,
Terence, can I
negative
ask you a question?
700. That
Can I
man
ask you a
ain't never
question,
fought no 50-50 fight neither, bro.
Can I
Just
ask
like
you a
Bud.
question?
I mean, yeah. Go ahead.
Let
Go
me
ahead,
ask you a
intervene.
question. Are you gonna let me? Because we had a caller
Oh,
last
yeah.
week that got upset with me. And by the way, guys, the caller last week, we actually exchanged text messages, and so me and him, we're good. We're good. So just in case you guys saw the fire and brimstone last week when he and I went back and forth, but we're good now. We're good. He's gonna call in on another occasion, but you're gonna give me an opportunity to refute what you're saying, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Go ahead.
I was just trying to get it off real quick. So that was point 1 and 42. Third point is Tank Davis. Let's talk about Tank, man. Tank ain't beat nobody, bro. He ain't no face of boxing, bro. I'm sorry. Resume counts. I mean, these people we're talking about, we're just going to talk about how much. Whoa. Okay, go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
Let him
Go
finish.
ahead. I just want to make sure I got that. You said resume counts. Okay, I'm gonna note that.
Yeah. So yeah. If we strip the resumes out of boxing, then you're gonna get Jake Paul and these other idiots from YouTube now talking about they're the face of boxing. And if that's the case, guess what? I don't really give a damn about who the face of boxing is at that point. If anybody can be the face of boxing without showing me that they can beat somebody that's elite in a damn division at least, then I don't really care about it. We shouldn't care much about the face of boxing because I could care less at that point. So that's the second. Tank ain't fight nobody. Now here's I have a question for y'all. I do have a question before I go. With Tank, you got 2 fights to me. He's got to either make the Devin fight next. If that doesn't, that can't be made, then he has Shakur. I'm going to say and maybe even Frank Martin. But if he fights, first of all, Timo, I don't know. I know Floyd was saying that he should fight Timo. Well, Timo's going to get his ass whooped, so I ain't really worried about that. But if he fights Cruz or Rolly, man, y'all should have no respect. Y'all should be on his ass. Y'all should be on Tank's ass if he fights any of those fights because that's bullshit. Nobody wants
Terrence,
to see him fighting no damn Rolly or Cruz. That's telling me that y'all ain't about it if y'all ain't on his ass for that.
So Terrence, can I ask you a question? Were you on Bud ass when he fought David Avenesian?
Listen, Errol Spence, I mean, he signed. The man did everything he could to make the fight.
Were you on his ass when he fought David Avenesian? He pulled David Avenesian out of a fight on November 19th. Were you on his ass?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
I wasn't because he tried to make the fight. Oh. He got ducked. That's why, Jason. He got ducked. And I said, if Shakur and Devin duck him and Frank duck him, yeah. But ain't that he got ducked.
Hey,
Earl wasn't even training. Y'all forget that, right? Earl wasn't training. Y'all forget Mayweather said the fight wasn't happening. Come on now. Y'all can't blame Bud for that.
Can we respond?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. He did not make the fight. I don't give a damn what you heard or read in terms of 35%. He did not make the fight. If he made the fight, then the fight would be made. So all this shit, he agreed to 35%. He ain't agreed to shit because the fight's not made. That's number one. Number two, Errol Spence hasn't fought anyone, and you used all the betting lines associated with the fights that you called out, Mikey Garcia, Danny Garcia, whoever. Now, I will concede that Errol hasn't fought a 50-50 fight if you also concede that Terence Crawford has not fought a 50-50 fight. Do you concede that?
Well, he came close. I mean, but Errol did fight near. Errol did fight one near 50-50 fight, and that was Kell Brook. But y'all saw what Bud did to him, right?
So hold on. No. Let me talk a little bit. So
yeah.
So when you start talking about 50-50 fights, to your point that you're making, Kell Brook was a 50-50 fight. And that was a 50-50 fight before the fight, and it was a 50-50 fight after the fight when you look at Kell Brook's skills. When you look at who Terence Crawford has fought, like when he unified the titles, every fighter that he unified the title against, those guys went like 40% win rate after they fought Terence Crawford, which would suggest that they were more a product of who they were fighting at 140 pounds and promotion rather than actually being true threats when they fought Terence Crawford. So it's my opinion that Terence Crawford really hasn't fought anybody. Literally 40%. They won 40% average, 40% of their fights after they fought Terence Crawford. That is terrible.
But
so
Greg,
neither one of them have fought anybody.
But here's my comeback to that, Greg. You do realize when you get knocked the fuck out, you're never the same again sometimes. That's what Bud does. He's knocking people out, bro.
Hold on.
After that, bro.
So hold on.
No, know how that goes. You get knocked out. They scared. They hesitant after that. Come on, y'all know how that goes. Come on, that's
okay. Terence. Jay, give me a second. Okay, yeah. Give me a second. So you just made the comment that we saw what Terence Crawford did to Kell Brook afterwards, but Errol Spence knocked him out. So how can you talk about how Errol Spence, you saw what Terence Crawford did to him when Errol Spence knocked him out, but then made the comment that after these guys fought Terence Crawford, that they were never the same? Then wouldn't that also apply to Kell Brook? So then why did you make that statement? Help me understand.
Well, listen, Kell Brook was giving that man the business. Y'all don't forget that Kell Brook was giving the business. I was kind of getting nervous. I was like, man, I hope he don't beat. I was like, man, I hope he don't beat Earl, because I was getting nervous because I wanted to see him fight Terence. Stop. Then I was glad when he came back and knocked him out. But y'all forget about that,
what are you talking about? You didn't answer the question.
Bro, I was nervous in that fight for Earl because Kell was giving him the business. Y'all don't remember that?
Dog, you stuck. You fucking stuck and you didn't answer the question.
I was stuck. Listen.
You didn't answer the question.
Listen, we both stuck in that because guess what happened to Kell before he fought Earl? Did you forget? He went up there and tried to be a hero and fight a Triple G and got his eye socket busted.
What the fuck does that have to do with the? Hold on, Terry. Let me jump in now. Terry, no, I have not forgotten about that. But what relevance does that have with the statement that you made? You literally just made the excuse. No, let me finish.
That he got beat. Yeah.
But let me finish. You made the excuse that the reason why these guys lost fights after Terence Crawford was because of the effect that occurred when Terence Crawford knocked him out. But gave Terence Crawford credit for beating Kell Brook in a way that Errol Spence didn't. Why didn't you give Errol Spence the same credit for knocking out Kell Brook? That means that he got, when Terence Crawford fought him, he fought a lesser version. He wasn't the same. So you shouldn't give him credit for that.
Greg, you're right. I'm not going to argue.
Okay, there you go.
You're right. He was a lesser.
That's all I want to hear. I'm always right. Tell him, Jay. I'm always right.
Yeah, well, he shouldn't have fought Terence. What he wanted to fight Terence for? He knew he just wanted a bag, and Bud just bust him up. So I give you that. By that time, Kell was done. I get it, but shit, Bud just finished him. But he came back and beat Khan, though. So I don't know. That man's a tough dude. I don't get it, but
I get
Khan?
what y'all saying.
I'm
gonna give you that one, Greg. I'll give you that one, Greg. I ain't gonna argue with that.
You can't argue with that.
That ain't even the main point. That ain't even the main point I'm arguing.
What's your main point then? What's your main point?
My main point is neither one of them has had a 50-50, real 50-50 fight in a long time.
I'm okay with saying that.
So all y'all do is shit on Bud, but y'all never shit on Earl for not having no 50-50 fight. Bud is the only one that everybody shitting on. He ain't fought nobody. Because everybody that he fought, Bud would be a heavy favorite. If Danny was on the other side, Bud would be a heavy favorite. If you Daniels was on the other side, Bud would be a big favorite. Mikey, Bud would be a favorite. So I'm saying it's nobody he can fight. It's going to be 50-50 except this man. Just tell him to take the fight, bro. That's it. These two need to fight. That's it. That's the only 50-50 fight, bro.
Can I tell you why? Fight. Can I tell you why people end up shitting on Terence Crawford's resume versus Errol Spence?
Yeah, why?
Because no one boasts about Errol Spence fans do not boast about Errol Spence's resume. Terence Crawford fans boast about his resume. He was undisputed here. He did this. He did that. So he deserves this in terms of compensation. And that's when people shit on the resume to show why he doesn't actually deserve that as compensation. And they shit on it because it's like you're boasting it up here, but in reality, these fighters were this. So I think people will I think if you were just saying that, if you left out the whole comments about, Terence Crawford resume is this, and he did this, and he did that. I think people would say, okay, yeah, I can agree with neither one of them necessarily had a 50-50 fight because they're both the elite fighters at the division. I think people can get on board with that and align with that. But the reason why people shit on the resume is because the Terence Crawford fans try to throw the resume in everybody's face and like, his resume ain't shit. It ain't. I'm sorry, it ain't.
Hey, Terence, who was the best person at 147 that Bud beat?
One more thing, Jason. I got to say it correct. The reason they give Bud that credit for the unifying, if you unify, bro, you beat everybody there was to beat in the division. So even if they were lesser fighters, it's nothing you can do. You can't create a fighter to make it 50-50. He did everything he can do in that division. So y'all got to at least give him that credit. That's the problem with Tank. Why didn't Tank do that in 126? Unify your division if there's nobody to fight is all I'm saying.
He didn't see as many bombs there as Terence Crawford saw.
Okay, hey, man, I got that. Jason, what were you saying?
Terence, I got a question. Who had a stronger resume at 147, Bud or Spence?
At 147, I mean, I guess you would say because he fought. I guess because he fought Danny, I guess that would give him a slight edge. But even though Bud would be a heavy favorite against Danny too, I'll give him a slight edge that he has a little better resume. But I think Bud, when he beat those dudes just as bad or better than so. We really can't go by that though. That's what I'm saying, Jason. They got to fight. That's it.
I'm asking you, at 147, who's the best fighter that Bud has fought?
The best fighter at 147. Y'all keep shitting on Eagles. Y'all shit on Eagles, but Eagles is a hell of a fighter, bro. He knocked my man down, and then I think he threw the fight after he knocked on Victor. What's his name? He knocked him down, and if you look at that fight, I think he threw the fight after that because that's the only reason Oscar would have let him fight him in the first place because he wasn't allowed to win that fight. But you saw y'all don't think he has excellent timing? Eagles, y'all don't think he could beat nobody on the PBC?
I was watching that fight the other day, man. He did a good job.
He has excellent timing. Y'all act like he's not good, but he's good. Y'all act like Davis not good, but Davis, he was negative 800. That's not that bad. That's not too far off.
Terence, hold real quick. Terence, hold real quick. Manager Marty, you trying to call in? I just literally sent you a link so that you can join the actual live stream. So, Manager Marty, check out the link so you can join us because I think you want to talk to Terence. But go ahead.
Get Manager Marty on here. I know. Get Manager on here. But anyway, man.
Hey, Terence, you never answered the question, though. Yeah. You never answered the question, Terence. You said Mean Machine was Bud's best fight at 147?
Oh, you saying who his best fight? Well, yeah, I say Eagles, yes, absolutely. Oh, well, Kell Brook, and then Eagles, yes. But Kell Brook was washed up. Well, Kell Brook was washed up, so Eagles, I guess. I guess I'll have to go with Eagles. Go ahead. Yeah,
so you struggling.
Yeah.
You struggling, man. You said Kell Brook, hot damn.
But when I look at it, yeah, Kell Brook was washed up. I agree with y'all. By that time, Kell was done. Up. It was no way he was beaten, but so Eagles. But Jason, I get what you're saying, but this man hasn't fought nobody. His slightly better because Danny turned down fights with Bud. He wouldn't even have that. But he could have fought Danny before Errol did. Danny turned down the fight. We ain't hear from his daddy. Offered him more money than they was offering him at PBC. He said, oh yeah, I'll think about it. And then never got back to Bud. So how can that be Bud's fault? He knew what was going to happen if he would have fought Bud Crawford. That's why Danny ain't fought him. Come on, man. Danny's still scared. Bud offered him another fight. He still didn't want to take the fight. At 150, this man don't want to fight Bud. He know he can't beat. Y'all know that. Do y'all think that Danny could beat Bud Crawford? Yes or no?
Danny who, Garcia?
Yeah. Now be honest. Be truthful.
I think I'm being truthful. I think Danny would lose. I think Keith Thurman would have a hell of a chance to beat him. I've been watching video on Terence Crawford for the last 3 days, and I don't know if I should say what I'm going to say right now, but I think people give Terence Crawford more credit for his game in terms of the nuances to his game than what he actually deserves. And I think they discredit Errol Spence in terms of his nuances. Terence Crawford, and you guys may see it differently. I see Terence Crawford as an ultra athletic fighter who is a counterpuncher and very, very good at timing. All the switch hitting shit is really not that effective. In reality, he's just a guy that is great with timing and super athletic with very long arms. So he's very rangy, and that allows him to execute the way that he fights. But all these nuances and people talking about he has so many tools in his tool bag, I don't see it, dog. And I've been looking at like fight after fight after fight over the last few days. Jay, you saw me sending you text messages about, man, I see this, I see that, I see this, I see that.
Yep.
It's going to be interesting to see how he actually engages with Errol Spence, a guy. Because I'm going to tell you one of the things that I noticed from Terence Crawford when he's fighting someone who is an orthodox fighter. He's always trying to catch them coming in with that left hook. That left hook. That's his primary weapon to keep people at bay. That left hook. And with Mean Machine was very patient. He didn't run in. And he was able to catch Terence Crawford because Terence Crawford started to become impatient with Mean Machine.
Absolutely.
When you start to think about Errol Spence, trying to catch Errol Spence coming in with that left hook, Errol's a southpaw, so that hand's going to always be up. Errol's going to always be able to catch that left hook, and he's going to be throwing that jab. And Errol is the type of fighter, he's rangy enough where he'll be able to connect with his jab while minimizing the level of risk that he has, right? So I really feel like Errol Spence, Terence Crawford, man, I think it's a way better fight, and I think you're going to see a lot more out of Errol Spence than what you would actually think. So we got manager Marty.
How did Thurman? Where do you get Thurman? I'm confused about that one. How's Thurman?
I think Thurman's style. I think the in and out style, the speed, the combinations, the ability to move. I think that would be a problem for your guy. That's my opinion. Now, Manager Marty, we got Manager Marty in the building. Y'all will be able to hear him right now. You might not be able to see him yet, but Marty, say something real quick. Let's make sure that the people can hear you, bro.
Is that you, Terence? Best videos? That's you?
That's me. You know it is, Marty.
I just wanted to do a mic check since they wanted to make sure the audience can hear me. Terence Best Videos, I was just listening in, and I thought when Greg said that he sent me the link to come on, I thought I heard you say, yeah, bring him on. Bring Manager Marty on.
Yeah, I did. I said, bring Marty on. Yeah, what I'm supposed to do? I can't hide now. I'm here, Marty. What's up?
Yes, sir. Terence, I've said this to you on my channel. I'll say it again because I hear you on the phone here on AM Sports Media. Thank you, AM Sports, for having me, guys.
Always,
much love and respect
bro.
to you guys. Salute, man. Greg, I want to say this to you real quick before I get to Terence. I love how you say the F word because you said we F with Manager Marty. So you know I don't curse unless I'm real mad and I'm ready to fight somebody. So I F with y'all too.
There you go.
Terence Best Videos. I want to say I respect. I said it on my channel. I'll say it here. I respect you, man, because one of the things that I respect about you when we're talking about Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence or Terence Crawford versus anybody else, you do give, the people who are challenging what you're saying or questioning what you're saying the opportunity to rebuttal. Facts. I respect that about you. You don't just interrupt and keep going on and trying to, dominate the dialogue. I respect that about you. And I told you that before on my channel. The thing that just keeps boggling my mind is when I debated you in an organized debate at Knockout Boxing 86 TV's channel, I destroyed you. I air fried you, and you keep coming back to life. I don't get it. How can this guy keep coming back? But that's why I respect you, bro. So salute to Terence Best Videos.
Well, I mean, that's your opinion and some of the people's opinion, but
well, I did win. It was judges there in the chat, so you can't say I lost. I did win. But it was a lot of fun, man. It's all about the love of the sport of boxing. It was something interesting though. Jason asked you a really good question, and you basically walk right into that left hand. I don't know why you walk right into it because you didn't have a problem with Crawford fighting David Evanesian. I mean, you didn't have a problem with it, you know? And the thing about it is, speaking of fighting David Evanesian, I asked the other guy, I'm not going to mention his name on your guys' platform. You were on my platform, Jason and Greg, on Friday night the other day. So you know who I'm talking about, the guy who, you know, challenged me to a debate or whatnot. But I asked him on Tuesday night on my live, you know, why did Crawford reach out to David Evanesian through BLK Prime to fight him? And his exact words were, because Keith Thurman was ranked number 6 in the Ring Magazine rankings, and David Evanesian was ranked number 7 in the Ring Magazine rankings. And my thing is, you know, the Ring Magazine, their rankings really don't hold no weight. They don't have any jurisdiction to sanction any fights. So what difference did that make? The reason why I'm bringing it up now is culminating that with what Terence Best Videos said about Crawford fighting David Evanesian. Is like, we keep hearing all of these out of space, outrageous excuses for this guy taking David Evanesian off of this card that had many fighters on the card that signed contracts to fight. The commission approved it through the British Boxing Board of Control. Is like, at some point we got to be honest and say that wasn't righteous. And okay, he won, no problem. He knocked David Evanesian out. But the bottom line is, his resume is really not that good. And the reason why his resume is the way it is, and I'll say this while Terence Best Videos is on here, because I say it on my channel all the time, is because Brad Goodman, the Hall of Fame matchmaker, who's been around Top Rank for over 30-something years, they have matched Terence Bud Crawford's fights up the way that they did strategically so that they can maximize their earning potential, so that they can fulfill their obligation on the contract to pay Terence Crawford those guarantees, even though they lost a whole bunch of money doing it. But at the same time, the matchmaker studies fighters. That's one of the main jobs of a matchmaker. And they know Terence Bud Crawford's strengths, and they know his weaknesses. And they know good and well it would have not been lucrative for them to put him in there with somebody like a Spence. That's just facts. That's not an opinion. So I wanted Terence Best Videos to hear that so he can understand the business element and the matchmaking element of why Terence Bud Crawford's resume is the way it is.
Well, the only thing I would say
Terence,
that
hold on. Let me make sure I understand. You know what? Your best videos. You know what?
You know,
Terence, your best videos in the chat.
Yeah, you know there's betting odds, so they must know more than the betting odds, because Bud will be 50-50 on every book that you'll go to. So I don't know. I don't know what these matchmakers, maybe they're not very good matchmakers if they think that Errol Spence would beat Bud. But there's a lot of matchmakers that don't want to put their fighters up against other people. Y'all don't say, well, Tank can't beat a person because the matchmaker won't put him up against a good fighter. But why is it only Bud Crawford when the matchmaker don't put him up to another fighter to say that they're probably going to lose? I don't care what the matchmakers say. Bud thinks that he could beat him. He went to him face to face like a man and told him he wanted to fight him. I mean, what more can Bud do? He went to him face to face and told him he wanted to fight the guy.
Sign the contract. Sign the contract. That's what the fuck he can do. Sign the goddamn contract.
Y'all keep saying it because Errol Spence was not even training, bro. What contract?
What the fuck does training have to do with that?
Errol Spence was not training. He was on vacation. He was overweight. He wasn't. He
can still sign. That's even better. That's even better for him. He
haven't fought nobody. When is Errol going to fight somebody?
He trying to fight Bud. He trying to fight Bud.
What is he going to fight somebody? Y'all say he was ready back in October to fight Bud, and he still didn't fight nobody?
They were going to fight. They were going to fight. Number one, they were going to fight in November. Number two, it's hard to say whether or not Errol Spence was at a weight where he could fight Terence Crawford 8 to 12 weeks later. We're not there to weigh him. So at the end of the day, all the motherfucker got to do if he wants to actually fight is sign the fucking contract. You keep talking about what else can he do? Sign the fucking contract.
Terence, the best time for him to fight Spence was Spence out of shape, as you say.
What is this mystical contract? There was no contract.
So if
Stephen Espinosa said many of the issues were never addressed by Bud Crawford How could there be a contract if they didn't address his issues?
So can I ask you a question?
This is fantasy world that y'all keep talking about.
Okay.
Pure fantasy.
Okay, so
There's
I'll
no
concede
contract.
that. Okay, I'll concede that if you concede then that you will never ever on any platform say he agreed to everything. Because if there is no fucking contract to agree to, then he couldn't agree to everything. Facts?
Yes, but and I already explained that in the debate with Marty. He meant material terms, not everything to the material. So he agreed to the 65-35 split. He agreed to take that split, but he wanted to make sure his money was right. What y'all think he gonna take a 35% split and then let the PBC rob him of the 35%? He ain't stupid. Y'all think Bud's stupid? He not that stupid.
They had already agreed to term. They had already agreed to the split. So what money was he trying to ensure was made right? I'm confused.
Greg, the 35%. Okay, so I'm getting 35%. But if you say 35%, I want to know of what? What are you taking out on the expense side? Because that's going to affect my 35%, right? Right, Greg?
Yeah, but no, I agree.
Money.
No, I agree with that.
Make sure,
I agree. No, I agree with that. But they had already laid out within the actual terms that they would actually highlight every expense associated with the promotion. That wasn't the issue. The issue is he wanted to control the expenses. That was the problem. And an individual who is a boxer who has never, ever, ever even put 5,000 asses in a seat, according to Mike Tyson, how in the fuck is he going to actually lead a promotional?
Greg, he's not control. He's saying, yo, y'all not going to have a can of Coke and say that cost $25 for a can of Coke. That was an expense. He's trying to protect himself against bullshit like that. This is the PBC he's dealing with. This is the same company that's taking 25 to 33% of young fighters that they just signed for life. Come on, man. You got to protect yourself when you're dealing with these slime balls like that, bro. That's all Bud's doing, protecting himself.
Terence, let me say this to you, and I'm glad you said all Bud Crawford needs to do is protect himself. This is why I started my channel, because it goes right into what I always tell everybody. Good representation in this business is priceless. So if he felt the need to protect himself when he's negotiating with the opposition, this is where him having good representation on his behalf to be able to do the due diligence that's necessary to know what the expenses are, what the revenue is going to be, what does 35% look like in net, et cetera, et cetera. He chose not to do that, so here we are.
That's his fault. That's his fault.
But manager, but guys, y'all remember when he had ESPN with him? What everybody was saying? We don't know. He's on the wrong side of the street. He had real good at representation, but when he gets that representation, now y'all gonna say he on the other side of the street. This man can't win. If he gets somebody, he get De La Hoya. What y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna complain if he gets representation? They gonna complain. Oh, we can't do it now because he's on the other side of the street. We know how this works, manager. Marty, this is how it works with Bud. It's Bud Terence, rules. Anything Bud do, they're gonna criticize him.
But let me say this, because in one breath I've heard you and other Terence Crawford fans talk about how brilliant he was to drop the representation that he had, and that he was wise. Right? Hold on, let me finish. He was wise enough. He had the experience. He had a lawyer in place so that he could actually negotiate a deal. And when we called him businessman Bud and criticized him for actually taking that approach, and now you're saying, oh, well, yeah, that was the reason why the fight wasn't. Come on, bro. Like, it's either one or the other.
He did the right thing, Greg. He did the right thing. The thing is, they don't want to fight. They didn't want to. He didn't. If a person don't want to do business with you, Greg, you gonna make them do business with you? Just imagine if you want to do business with me, and I'm saying, yeah, come over here, but nah. Every time you say something, I'm saying no. It's nothing. You can't make a person do. If the PBC don't really want to do business with Bud, whether he has representation, whether he don't have representation, they won't do business with him. That's what he's up against. These guys don't want to do business with Bud. They're mad at Bud. They're still pissed off at Bud because he won't sign with them. Well, he don't want to sign with them because he don't want to get sleeves over, bro.
So Terence,
he know what's going to happen if he signs with them.
So the same thing that happened to Gervonta Davis and Errol Spence, he'll become a star. But go ahead, Manager Marty.
So Terence, you're saying that it doesn't matter whether or not Terence Crawford has representation or not. Okay, we're gonna let you stick with that. Since it don't matter, and we've heard Bud Crawford himself say on IG Live himself, I don't need representation. I'm my own boss. I talk to the big wigs. Blasey, 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 blasey. The problem with that, the problem with him saying that is the fact that he doesn't understand the difference between a guaranteed contract, nor does he understand the difference between that and a percentage. And neither do you and most Bud Crawford fans. So let me educate you right now on the issue. When a fighter is getting a guarantee, just because they're getting a guarantee does not necessarily mean that equates to them getting a percentage. It's either one or the other. That's a fact. Why is that? Because when you're signed as a fighter to a promotion company, I've said this time and time again, your guarantee is based on minimum and or maximum. So let me paint the picture for you. Let's say Crawford fights Amir Khan, right? And he's guaranteed $3 million. Let's just say that's his maximum. When he fights Sean Porter, his maximum doesn't change because he's still locked into a 3-year deal. So it's not like he's going to get $3 million when he fights Khan and then $6 million when he fights Porter. Let's be clear on that. He's going to get the same amount between the minimum and maximum guarantee based on whatever number that was in his contract. Now, moving right along, he has no obligation to any promoter. He is a free agent. When he first got the proposal in May of 2022 from Al Heyman on behalf of Errol Spence's representation, he said that he agreed. We don't have to disbelieve what he said because the actions of Al Heyman and PBC was, now we're going to send you an actual contract to sign with the transferable language that you agreed to in the proposal. Now, what happened in between May and August, from the time he got the first proposal to the time he got the actual first contract? You've guessed it, Terence, Best Videos. He was fraternizing with BLK Prime in June. So these are the actions of Bud Crawford. Now, you claim him not having representation or him having representation doesn't matter. But this is where it actually matters at. So he's fraternizing with another streaming platform, another promoter, another company. And not only did he just fraternize with him, like have a conversation, he actually got a deal done where they pulled the guy off. I mean, you know the story. We don't have to keep rehashing that. But my point is, he fought the guy. Why would he run the BLK Prime if he knew that he wanted to fight Spence? Spence and Al Heyman and them had a network over there. It's no point in running to a different platform. You got a network right here. There's no point in running to another promoter. You have free agency right here. So even though Bud is saying that with his words, his actions did not dictate what his words represented. And that's why we're still here talking about it nearly 1 year later. And you can't dispute any of those facts I said, Terence.
Well, Marty, first of all, he didn't run to BLK. They came to him. He didn't go out to BLK. They came to him with that offer. Second thing that you keep saying, but you're contradicting what Bud said in the IG Live. He said when he got that in August, that wasn't a contract. He first said in a sentence, he said, "Oh yeah, it was a contract," and then he said, "Oh, really, it wasn't a contract." You don't remember that, Marty? He said, "But really, it wasn't a contract." Are we disputing that, Marty? That he said that in the IG Live?
Yes. He corrected himself because he was talking about. Listen, hold on. He corrected himself because you're proving my point again. He didn't know the difference between a proposal and a contract. Bottom line is he agreed to the terms, like you called it, inside of the proposal, and that's why. Why would a business owner or a business representation send someone a proposal and then send them a contract 2 to 3 months later if they didn't agree to any of the terms in the proposal? That absolutely makes no sense.
But then why would Espinosa say that many of the things that weren't addressed? And explain that, Marty. None of y'all keep always glossing over that. Explain what Espinosa meant then. Marty, what did he mean by when he said that? The crowd is listening. The roll of tape. Let's go. What did he mean?
What part? What part? Tell me.
He said when Espinosa said one of the problems was that many of the things that Bud Crawford were not addressed. That's what he said. That's what Espinosa said. That many of the things that Terence brought up were not addressed. So
Are you talking about
things that he was
recently?
yes, things that were brought up and they weren't addressed by the PBC and Showtime. So how
Are
could
you
that have
talking
been a
about recently?
contract if these things weren't addressed? That's what I'm saying, Marty. We can't
Terrence,
have it both ways.
Okay, I just want clarity. Are you talking about what Steven Espinosa said recently about it or in the past?
In the past, when during this whole IG, when that stuff was coming out, Espinosa did an interview, and that's what he said.
Let me tell you what Espinosa
the Crawford
said.
stuff
Let me
was
tell you
not
what-
addressed.
I'm addressing Terrence Best video. Steven Espinosa said these exact words, and I did a video on my channel months and months ago. He said, "We are 2/3 of the way done." Remember when he said that?
No, this was after that, Marty.
I
The
didn't
fight was off.
ask you
He
that. I
already
asked
had
you, do
took
you
the
remember?
Avenija fight.
Hold up. Do you remember before Bud was even talking about BLK Prime or going over there, or they announced Evanesian before all of that? Do you recall Steven Espinosa saying we're 2/3 of the way done with the
Okay.
deal between Spence and Crawford? Do you remember that?
I'm not going to argue with you. Yeah. I believe you, Marty. I remember when he was saying that. Yeah.
Thank you. Do you know why Steven said that? Steven said that because Terence Crawford gave them the impression that he was going to sign the contract. You want to know why I know that? This is how I know that. Because when Steven Espinosa said that, it was at the Rolly Romero versus Tank Davis press conference in May, after they sent him a proposal. So he agreed to those terms. He told them, "Oh, I'm with this," and that's why Steven said we're 2/3 of the way done. What would be the third thing that would need to be done out of 1/3,
and I can
2/3,
explain it. I
3/3?
think what the third thing
Signing.
is that he wanted
Signing.
to have.
Signing the contract is the third thing out of the 1/3, 2/3, and the 3/3.
So Marty, what wasn't addressed then? You still didn't explain that, Marty. You glossing over it again. What wasn't addressed? What wasn't addressed? Specifically, what was Terence asking for that was not addressed?
He was asking for the same thing he asking now. More money than he is required to receive based on his numbers and his projections and his gate. It's no different. He's still doing the same thing last year he's doing right now.
He didn't ask for more money. He just wanted to. Remember, he said that the issue was that he wanted to protect his 35%, and you don't want to agree with that. That's the thing. Y'all don't care about him protecting his 35%.
No, I'm cool.
If you're taking 35%, you want to protect it. That's all he wanted to do. I don't think that's that's a unreasonable request. And by the way, again, Errol Spence wasn't even training.
I'm cool.
So this this whole thing to me was a sham anyway, because Errol would have been training for the fight if he thought that Terence could have signed the contract.
Terence, I agree with you. I agree with you that Crawford didn't understand business when it came to percentages and net and profit, expenses, revenue. I clearly agree with you on that. Here's the part that you keep missing. What you keep missing is that he was offered a guarantee. He's not contractually obligated to them as a fighter, and they're not contractually obligated to him as a promoter. So they don't have to actually offer him a guarantee. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. But because they did, he did not accept it. Hold up, Terence. He did not accept the guarantee, because if he did, we wouldn't be talking about a 35% split, right?
Well, they should have offered him $15 million, and then he wouldn't have had that. Then the 65-35 wouldn't have mattered. Offer him $15 million in a fight that's going to generate probably $100 million. They're going to get over on him at the end of the day. This fight's generating over $100 million, and you can't offer him 15, but you could offer Canelo $40 million. Come on, man. Y'all tripping, bro. Y'all really tripping.
Terence, you're missing how business work, man. It's not about, well, we're supposed to get this big bag and you're going to be entitled to. That's not how it works. When we're talking about
it worked like that for Canelo.
No, hold up. I want to explain something to you. When we're talking about business, remember I always say this, Terence, and you've heard me say this on my channel. It's not about what you think or what you feel your worth is. It's based on how much someone's willing to invest in you based on your performance, based on their perception, and based on projection. Those are the 3 Ps. And according to all 3 of those, we're not talking about inside the ring performance. I'm talking about outside the ring. The man just got out of a contract with Bob Arum where his maximum was probably like $3.5 million. His words, not mine, in Oklahoma. My point is that he can't come out of nowhere and just overprice himself based on what he think and how he feels, and neither can you. They're basing it on how can we justify creating a budget that's going to be fair to all parties involved where we can make a profit, because we're not Bob Arum. We're not going to promote you to lose no money. See, that's the part y'all keep missing, because the thing about it is this.
Yeah.
Terence Bud Crawford cannot sell on pay-per-view. And even you know that, Terence Best Videos. He can.
Errol can't sell?
It's not a knock on him. Huh?
No, Errol can sell. Errol can sell. He's already been proven to sell. He can sell.
Errol can sell.
Okay.
And his live date is crazy.
Okay, I'm asking all of y'all, Jason, Greg, and you, Marty. Y'all don't think that fight does $100 million? Yes or no? We all got Errol, the big seller, and this is the biggest fight for both of them. Everybody want to see it. That don't do $100 million? That's what y'all telling me.
It's possible. It depends on what the price is. Like, I don't know the dynamics of what they're projecting in terms of the pay-per-view buys, but just based off of what you see from Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia at $84, they did over $100 million.
And Jason,
okay,
so Greg is yes.
It's
Jason.
possible.
It's possible. It's possible. I mean, but
y'all don't think $15 million
the one that Tank and
offer.
Ryan, they had a whole different demographic that's watching them.
Y'all, that's the crazy thing. Like, $15 million would have got it done. If he would have said yes, he wouldn't have done no arguments, nothing.
Look, he says $100 million. $15 million. You want to get $15 million, 35% of $100 million.
Terrence, we are Monday. What do they call it? Monday morning quarterbacking. Because now we have these numbers in place where you may be more willing to say this fight could do these numbers based off what this fight did and the demand for the fight, right? But at the point in which they were negotiating this fight, they were protecting their interests. And to Marty's point, we're not going to promote a fight that's going to lose us money, period. Now, that's not just on PBC. That's not just on PBC side. That's also on Terence Crawford's side, because he is notorious for not wanting to take a risk. He is notorious for not betting on himself. So he wants a high guarantee. At this point, it makes sense that maybe they should have gave him the guarantee, $15 million. You don't get shit on the back end since you want to be so greedy on the front end.
Right.
That's greedy, Greg. That's greedy. He offered them to. He said he had investors that were going to give him both $25 million each and 80-20 on the back end.
Are you going there? Do quick math for me, real quick, Terrence. Do quick math for me.
I don't believe that shit.
Quick math for me, real quick, Terrence. You said they do $100 million. What's 35% of $100 million?
35 mil.
Okay, it's 35 mil more than 25 mil, 15 mil?
Say that again?
What you mean?
Check that book again.
And he accepted it, Jason. He just wanted to protect that $35 million. He wanted all these extra expenses. It could have been from $35 million where he only got $10 million. And by the way, he ain't want to do this shit with what PBC do, where they holding money instead of back end money. They're going to hold the back end money. You got to wait for the money. They reinvest the money.
That's all bullshit. That's all bullshit.
That's another thing. Nobody knows what the PBC doing with that back end. They love that back end money.
Oh my God! So let me ask you a question.
Broner about it.
Let me ask you a question.
That back end money.
Hold up.
And Mayweather, by the way, Mayweather said that it took him damn near 7 years and he ain't got his money, his back end money. So and that's the money, man.
Let me
we know about that
question.
back end money.
Let me ask you a question, right? So you start talking about back end money and all this other stuff. At the end of the day, if he's positioning himself to make the back end money, what is the problem? Because here's my thought.
Yeah.
No, here's my thought.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you start to look at the back end money, they're saying, hey, we're going to pay you based off of this revenue split. The PBC is going, and Errol Spence as well, he's also getting paid off the back end money. What advantage does the PBC have to fabricate dollars when their man who's tied to them is also getting paid off that money? Don't you think Errol Spence will have a problem if they're giving them a full accounting of all the expenses associated with promoting the fight? Which, if I'm not mistaken, Manager Marty, you tell me that the promoter is putting up front and he's trying to recoup. Then yes. Why would Errol Spence also agree with that? Errol Spence would be like, well, hold the fuck up. Now you guys are actually doing X, Y, Z. I don't think you need this. Errol Spence should have people around him that is saying, hey, you don't need this. Terence Crawford should have people around him who are promoters that would say, you don't need this. So why would these guys just put in these fabricated expenses, bro? I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me.
Okay. I'll explain. What did Bud say? Bud said, listen, they're going to take care of that guy. They said they're going to take care of that guy. So when they send these expenses to Bud, they might be something different to Errol. Oh, well, don't worry about that, Errol. We ain't going to take that out your money. We're going to just make sure we're taking it out of his money. Don't worry about it. Come on. Y'all know this is the type of shady dealings that go on with these people. That's why I'm saying he wanted to make sure that no shady stuff was going on with his side of his 35%.
Do you know
how? Giving him 35%.
Hold on.
Y'all ain't messing with my money. I want to make sure I'm getting every dollar. And I don't blame him. You can't knock the man for wanting to make sure he was getting his 35%. You're acting like that's their guy. Like he said, Errol is their guy. They're going to take care of him. You think they care about Bud Crawford?
But it's not putting any risk on it. He's not putting any money.
They don't even like Bud.
Also,
Terrence, let me say this, and then we're gonna move on to the next caller because we got to wrap this one up. But Terrence, you do you know what my background is? Accounting and finance. Do you know how fucking easy it would be for me to go into a situation where I can actually demand all the records associated with an actual financial transaction and find out that you did not actually pay my client the correct amount of money? Do you know how easy that would be for me? You would have to be a fucking moron to actually attempt to do something like that. And based off what I'm seeing, just based off of the careers of Errol Spence and not Bud Crawford, but Tank Davis, it is very clear to me that they are not idiots. So I don't think anything like that would ever happen.
Oh, well, before y'all could just don't forget to answer my question about Tank. Remember the question was Devin. Is it okay for him? I say he got to either fight Devin or Shakur. Can he fight Rolly or Isaac Cruz? Thanks, Scott. But I appreciate y'all having me on today. Appreciate it, guys.
I appreciate you, man.
Thank you for calling
Marty
in. Still there?
I'm right here.
Marty left.
Yeah.
All right, Marty, man. Nice hearing you. I'll be on your show.
All right,
bro.
Forward to having you, bro.
All right, appreciate you for calling in.
Thanks, guys.
Terrence,
Appreciate
well
it.
done today, sir.
Yeah, man, just to answer this question very quickly, man, before we jump on to another caller, if they call in, because I know we at 2 hours and 17 minutes, so we'll probably go maybe another 10 minutes. But I'm okay with the Rolly fight because I think it's a big fight, especially the talking. I think they'll be able to promote it. I do not want to see Cruz. Those are my thoughts on that.
Wow.
I don't want to see Cruz. I don't want to see Rolly too. I don't want to see either one of those. I want to see Devin, the winner of Devin and Loma.
That's my
next for Tank.
Fight.
That's the one I want to see. Honestly, I would love to see the Shakur and Tank, but I don't want to see that the next fight. I think Shakur needs another fight or two at 135 to prove himself at 135. He's proven himself at 130, but now he's at 135. I want to see him at least one or two more fights, and they fight next year. You know, and they'll help build that fight because they fight right now. Yeah, you're gonna ride the wave of Tank, but Shakur already said himself he's not there from a marketing standpoint himself, pretty much in so many words. So, but I don't want to see a Rolly 2 or Isaac Cruz 2.
Marty, any thoughts on that?
I'm gonna tell you. Did y'all hear feedback?
No, I'm good.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you what I think. I agree with everything both of you guys said. I don't want to see Cruz or Rolly 2 for Tank. I want to see him and Devin fight. Like Jason said, let the core mature more into the division. But what I think is going to happen, if Bill Haney gives Al Heyman, Espinosa, and those guys a hard way to go into negotiations by outpricing himself or just thinking that because they have all 4 of the belts, and you know how that stuff kind of goes, then they're going to move on to fight Isaac Cruz. Because don't forget, that fight was already mandated by the BC, right? Shakur against Cruz, right? So if Devin Haney don't fight Tank next, I believe they're going to make sure that Cruz fight Shakur. That's what I think. I know Cruz said he don't want Shakur right now, but I mean, either Cruz is going to fight Shakur or PBC is going to wisen up and let Cruz fight Tank Davis. And you know Cruz was at that fight between Tank and Ryan. And the reason why I say that is because they can market that where Tank got, 27 or 28 wins by knockout, but only 26 of them. 28 wins total or something, by 26 by knockout. They can market that and say, well, Eastside Cruz is one that lasted. He never got knocked out. So, and Tank beat him with one hand.
Yeah.
And he stood up to, I guess, Tank's best punching power. That's the way that they can market that. And the second biggest reason why they'll try to go the Eastside Cruz route, because it's no different from what I told you guys and everybody else about Broner and Crawford and Tank's resume, pretty much the same. It's hard to market these guys against black fighters, so it's easier to market Tank. Look at his resume, speaks for itself, against guys who are from other countries. And Eastside Cruz fits the bill. I don't want to see that fight, but I can see them going that route to market it for a profit, knowing that Tank's going to win. My take on it.
Gotcha. Hey, who do we have on the call? Just call in 647 in the building.
Hey, what's up, fellas? This is Patrick.
What's going on, Patrick?
What's going on, Patrick?
Calling in from Toronto. Doing all right. Just a few things.
Yeah.
If I can remember them after that lengthy Terence call. The first thing,
My apologies.
the first thing is, as far as the Terence Crawford and Errol Spence fight, I think, yeah, they're kind of they're both holding things up. And it may be for a good reason, but they're both holding things up in the division. Aside from that, I think, maybe there's a concern on Terence's part about a loss, and maybe he does want to go undefeated, like most fighters do today. They want to go undefeated. But I think what's happening is, because on one hand, at welterweight, they're holding up the belts. On another hand, you look at what Tank is doing, and you see them both converge. What may happen if the younger fighters at the welterweight division are smart? They would say, okay, you guys want to hold the belts, to hell with the belts. And they would also try to make the belts irrelevant, like Tank is doing at lightweight. All of this trying to, you have to go undefeated to be a great fighter and all this kind of stuff that came out of the Mayweather era is just, it's ridiculous. And I think Tank is proving that, if you want to hold up, if you got belts and you want to hold them up just to stay undefeated, then you do that. But the right fighters now can go out and make money without those belts. And I think we're starting to see a shift. And as far as that fight is concerned anyway, with Terence and Errol, I mean, I just think people are getting tired.
I think people are getting tired of talking about it for sure.
Yeah, people are getting tired of that fight. Like, no, let's just see Boots and somebody fight, right? And if Boots was smart, if they could do it, they would try to go around, even though it's difficult because now other fighters just don't want to fight him. But he should really try to do the same thing at welterweight that Tank is doing at lightweight. Find a way to to market himself and build himself up big enough to where the belts, if you guys want to hold those belts, you hold them.
Right.
I
don't disagree with that. I think there's always opportunities, man, you don't have to hold the belts to actually be the best in the division, or you don't have to hold the belts to actually be the biggest draw in the division, right? Mayweather proved that. Mayweather's never been undisputed. So clearly you don't have to do that. Is it a holdup? Can you place blame on Errol Spence in terms of the fight being, or the division being held up? Sure. Have no problem with that. But you can't do that at the same time saying that Terence Crawford is absolved from any playing any role in actually holding up the division, right? That's just how I feel. If you're going to make both, I'm cool with that. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that argument.
Yeah, they're both holding the division up. Unfortunately for Errol, and this is just unfortunate, just the situation. He's holding up three of the four belts.
Right.
And he's not getting anybody a shot at them. So of course it's just the way. This is just the way it is. He's more egregious than Terence because he has 3 of the 4 belts. So unfortunately, that's just the way it is. So I guess people are just gonna have to wait and see. But and plus Errol, it's kind of tricky for Errol because Errol needs to move up. But then you got Jamel who's saying he may not move out of 154, so that makes things tricky for him. Not only from a trainer standpoint, but just from a management standpoint at PBC, and it's very tricky. So he's kind of caught a little bit. So we'll see what happens. If Jamel moves up, then that will make things easier for him, and I think he would just move up and do his thing.
Yeah.
But because Jamel is still there, he's stuck.
Gotcha. Anything else you want to share with the people, bro?
That's it, fellas. Good show.
All right.
Minus the long Terence segment. Good show.
We like to give everybody a chance, man. We appreciate you calling in, bro.
All right, man.
Later. Hey, guys, we got time for one more call. I know that the 504 was calling in, and I think the 504 is New Orleans, if I'm not mistaken. 504 boys plus one more. Here we go. That's that old school, Jay. You should know about that, your old ass. We got the 215 calling in the building. You are on the show with the Angry Man podcast. We got the 404 calling in too. 404 call back, man, because I know that's Atlanta, Georgia, and we got to get to you. But who do we have in the building currently?
Hey, man, this is Kadeem. I'm from Philadelphia.
What's going on with you, man?
What's going on?
Hey,
bro?
y'all. Hey, what's up, Marty? I know Marty from Philly too, man. What's going on, my guy?
Salute. Philly in the building.
Hey, man, I just really want to say this, y'all. We got to keep it 100, y'all, like on some real. What happened with Terence and Bud is they started to get – Keith Thurman really started all of this. Remember when he was holding the belt and then he made Terence and Bud and saying they wasn't worthy? And then once they got in that position, they took the same attitude. And then what happened was they all start fighting. They start clearing out their division. Now they're at a standstill because nobody wants to see them fight anybody else. But they outpriced themselves because they didn't take advantage of the fight while it was hot. Ryan Garcia and Tank, this fight is not as big 5 years from now if they've been talking for 5-6 years. They only been talking for 2. You understand? Where everybody understands that Tank got to fight this guy, you know. Yeah, Ryan talking heavy while he fighting Issa Cruz, and maybe it might not happen this fight, but it might happen the next fight. And then they made it happen. You got to strike while the iron's hot. That's the only difference between the old school, why people keep bringing that up. Oh, the old school fighters, they didn't fight each other back to back to back to back, but they did fight each other. They put the puzzle pieces in place to make sure that these things occurred. You know what I'm saying? They outpriced themselves, and then now us as hardcore boxing fans and casuals, you done let Tank Davis surpass you. Now he's the face of boxing. And then you got to understand where they both went wrong. They're not Mexican. They can't do what Canelo and them do, beat a couple people, and then they blow you up and hold you there. It don't work like that for us as black fighters. Look at Deontay Wilder. He took an L. You can't tell nobody nothing about Deontay Wilder right now that was already against them. You understand? What fight out there is really for him to be made besides Joshua? This is the things that happen when you outprice yourself. They didn't strike while the iron is hot. They doing too much talking, and now y'all both is 35 and 34 years old, where y'all past y'all prime now. Them fighting at 31, 32 would have been amazing. So what now? And then it's not even like, y'all, this is the part none of us is addressing. It's not even like they're set to fight soon. They keep saying this June stuff and then take it back. Say it, then take it back. Say it, then take it back. We ain't got time for that, man. Meanwhile, Gervonta is skyrocketing past y'all. It's the reason why Canelo getting the heat. Ask me why Canelo getting so much heat right now. Because there's so many killers in the middleweight division. Because David Morrell go on TV in front of millions of people and put on a performance like that. That's why Caleb Plant and Benavidez have a knockout brawl that people love to see. So now everybody, what they naturally going to do, Marty? They looking at, but who's the champion in that? Canelo, sir. You going to fight one of these guys? Carlos, are you going to make a move? You got to do something.
Yeah.
That's what's happening with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. They need to just get it done. I don't care about these guarantees. Y'all been talking. Marty, how long does it take to make a business deal, bro? Stop it. The numbers is not going to change that much tomorrow. Either we going to get it on or we not. And then I didn't like when Terence Crawford sat up there and said, I don't need to fight him for my legacy. Well, I'm glad you feel that way, sir. That is not the truth. Nobody else feels that way, sir. Only you. Nobody feels that way. Okay? So that's my opinion on it, y'all, man. I love y'all show, man. I appreciate y'all letting me come up here and just give my opinion, man, on everything like that. And what y'all think about that, what I just said? How y'all feel?
So number one, man, thank you for calling in, man. Appreciate you supporting the show. Number two, I feel like, I think these guys need to go ahead and get it on. I think the fight has been held up for too long. Now, people talking about the fight should have been made in 18, 19, 20. I disagree. I do believe that the fight has probably been extended past, when it should have been made just because of circumstances that happened with Errol Spence. Some in his control, some, others that weren't. But he's always said that at the end of the day, he was going to unify on his side of the street and then go to Terence Crawford. I think over the last, let's call it year, I think the holdup has been Terence Crawford. But at the end of the day, these guys need to go ahead and get in the ring. Chicken Talk made a great point in the chat. I do believe that these guys have opportunities to fight each other. I'm talking about the Stanionis of the world. I'm talking about the Boots Ennis of the world, the Virgil Ortizes. They have the opportunity to fight each other, and there's no holdup unless you're just talking about getting the belts. But if you're just talking about, like, to the point that the last caller made, hey, making a name for yourself, you can kick ass and not fight either one of those guys and create a demand for those guys to fight. Man, I mean, just give you a case in point. If Boots Ennis were to fuck up Stanionis and then go ahead and fuck up Virgil Ortiz, people would be clamoring for Errol Spence to fight him. You gotta fight him. But just sitting back and waiting and saying I want this guy, that's probably not good enough. So I get the comment of holding up the division. These guys do absolutely need to fight. I'm okay with somebody making the argument that they're holding up the division in terms of getting the opportunity for these other guys to get the opportunity to have a title, get a title shot. But Chicken has a good point. I mean, I think you can see it out of both lenses. I think they're both logical arguments. That's my thought on it.
I wanted to say this about Boots, because I'm from Philly, man. So I like to support the Philly guys, man, because I feel like my city, if it wasn't for my city, boxing wouldn't be where it's at today. You dig what I'm saying?
And Michigan.
Just the amount of fighters that we put out. You know what I'm saying? Not saying we got the best fighters ever. But, not saying we got the best fighters ever, but as far as just the amount of fighters we have putting out over the last 100 years or so. So when you got a guy like Boots, right, the difference between a Gervonta and all these other guys, they're not taking the right path towards success. Everybody's too humble. See, Gervonta, though, he could be humble because when he get in the ring, he's doing spectacular knockouts, not just TKOs. We're going to stop the guy, get him some water and get him out of here. You have to either put on like y'all was saying for Boots, to put on a spectacular, which he has been doing lately, putting on a spectacular performances, or you have to attack that camera. And what I mean by that is calling up to these YouTube channels. It's going on ESPN. I'm talking about trying to touch every media platform, calling out Errol to the point where he forgot about Terence Crawford. These guys are being too humble in boxing. And let's really talk about it. These promoters are effing the sport up because they sitting up there. The people we will pay for it. We watch the NBA every day. If y'all put out good fights every 2-3 months, we would pay for it. These big pauses and years and all that, we don't care about that no more. Boxing hasn't changed with life. We got Instagram now. We got the internet. Everything is 2 seconds now. It's not newspaper days no more. You got to give people what they want. It's the reason why the UFC was passing boxing. Don't nobody care that them UFC guys ain't undefeated? But you got to get boxing to that point. And boxing will be way bigger than UFC ever thought about if guys actually sat down and fought each other. I ain't saying you got to fight the guy as soon as he call you out, but waiting 3 years to fight a guy that's on every platform calling you out, I'm just not with that. And I know why the sport is dwindling. It's picking back up right now, but it's dwindling because guys are, too humble. They're letting the promoters sit up there and control everything. They're not doing what Ryan. That's why shout out to Ryan Garcia. I don't care what my promoters say. I'm taking control of my career. Shout out to Gervonta Davis. I love Floyd Mayweather's, but I'm taking control of my career. And it paid off.
Facts. Hey, man, anything else you want to share with the people before we move to the next call?
Hey, no, man, I just want to say I appreciate y'all, man. Let's keep this boxing thing going, man. Shout out to Stephen Foley. Shout out to Jerron Dennis. You know what I'm saying? Jabril Noble, all those guys back in Philly, Greg Hackett. I watch all y'all. You know what I'm saying, man? Just keep doing y'all thing, man, because I love my city. It's a lot of young men. There's too much killing and all this dumb stuff going on out here, man. These guys need to get in the gym, man, and become champions and really provide for their family in better ways. So that's why I'm so passionate about it, because I see it's a way out for, young men like myself and others. So y'all be good, man.
Man, appreciate the call, man.
Appreciate
Great call.
Dean.
Thank you.
Salute.
My God. Patrick. My God.
All right, man, we got time for one more call, just one more. I wanted to get the 404 in the building. I saw somebody else call us as well. Call back so we can get this last call in, and we're going to wrap up the show at that point. We got the 857 calling back in. We got the 404 calling in, too. We got them both calling in. You are on the Angry Man podcast with Jason and Greg. Who do we have in the building?
What's going on, man? This is Robbie. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
What's going on with you, bro?
What's going on, Robbie?
What's going on, man? This is my first time calling in. I didn't even realize that y'all did live shows. I got familiar with y'all just watching y'all videos. So shit, I'm glad y'all do live shows because y'all been getting me through my day. But I was calling in because
appreciate that.
Yeah, yes sir. I was calling in because I was listening, and everywhere I go, everybody is talking about they want Tank to fight Devin Haney next, and Devin Haney has a fight next. So I wanted to ask, like, between Devin Haney and Lomachenko, who do y'all have winning and how?
I got Devin Haney winning the fight. Now I know Chicken Talk in the building saying that he believes that Lomachenko is going to win. I got Devin Haney winning. I think Devin is going to be rangy. I think he's going to fight from outside. Now I do understand where people may say Loma has the footwork, he has the angles, he'll be able to get on the inside, get off combinations. If he does, then yeah, I think Devin's going to be in for a long night. I think Devin's going to have the ability to keep him outside, on the outside of that long stick, going to be able to put combinations together from the outside, and I think he's going to be victorious. Those are my thoughts on it. Guys, what do you think?
You gonna steal my thunder, Greg, like that? I got Dev in it, but I mean, after looking at the way Loma looked in his last fight, I can definitely see Dev using the same things as Jermaine. I think it was Jermaine Ortiz that fought him. I know Ortiz was Loma's sparring partner for a while, but that size was a problem for Loma. That size and that reach. So Devin is really good at using that. Dev's gonna have to be on his A+ game. The thing with Loma that concerns me is his angles that he uses. But the good thing about it also is Loma is a slow starter. So Dev can get it. If Dev can get up on top of Loma, make things difficult, keep Loma at bay with that stick, I think Dev can win this. I'm also worried about a robbery though, because I don't trust it. They're really Bob really wants everyone to bet on Loma, and that's his guy. So I don't trust it unless Dev just dominates him.
Okay, you said what I'm thinking, and do you think Dev can dominate him to that point? Like, do you think Dev can make it not a close fight at all?
I think
he can.
I think he can. I think he will. I think those angles that we're so accustomed to seeing Lomachenko used his footwork is not as fast to get to those angles, and I believe that the counter-punching ability of Devin Haney is going to prevent him from taking those half steps to get those angles in. And I do think that Devin's not going to back up. You know, Devin likes to back up a little bit and let the aggression come to him sometimes. He knows he's the bigger man. I think he's going to press more of the action to make more of a statement. I don't know if he's going to hurt Lomachenko or Lomachenko is going to hurt him or not. None of that. But skill-wise, you got to look at this too. Lomachenko is not just – everybody say, oh, he's just old. Well, it's not about age. I was going to say this to the other caller, Patrick, about the age of Crawford and Spence. Age only matters when your legs are not there, number one, as a fighter. Number two, if you've taken punishment. Lomachenko has taken more punishment. I'm talking about overall body-wise, according to his resume, compared to a younger, stronger, hungrier Devin Haney. So I think Devin's going to dominate May 20th.
Okay, I can respect that. Like, I'm really like I feel like Devin should win, but I feel like there's a lot of things going against him. But I think like Lomachenko, I feel like when I watch the build up to the fight, when I see him talking, he's so focused that he knows this is like really his last chance. And then, like you said, also Bob said, put your money on Loma. And also another factor that I don't think a lot of people think about it, but the fact that Tank would be excited for Loma to fight, like for Loma to win, I feel like that's almost motivation for Bob Arum and them to give Loma that push even more, because that's a big money fight. If Loma could pull this off, you know, Tank is gonna jump at that. Even though I know he probably wouldn't even jump at it for Devin, but if it's Loma, he'll go get that undisputed. I feel like he'll jump at that. So, I mean, we just got to see what's gonna happen. I know it's a dirty game, so that's kind of like I don't see how Devin can win, in my opinion, other than like complete dominance. And I don't know if he can do that to Loma, especially because Loma. I mean, a lot of people talk about Devin's size, but Loma always fighting people who is bigger than him because he's not even really supposed to be a 135-pounder anyway. He's really at his limit anyway. And people talk about the Jermaine Ortiz fight, but Jermaine Ortiz, he's a similar size to Devin Haney, but he hits harder. And also he was Lomachenko's sparring partner. So, I mean, and Loma has fought a lot of people at 135 who hit harder than Devin Haney. And I feel like with him knowing that this is probably his last chance of getting undisputed, I feel like he's finna go hard. And if he go hard, like, I feel like they're gonna give him the decision, just regardless. Devin Haney gonna have to smoke him like Kambosos, and I don't know if he can smoke him like Kambosos. That's my only worry, but that's pretty much my call. I just wanted to see what y'all's thoughts on that fight.
No, man, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for calling in, bro, and thank you for supporting the channel.
All right,
appreciate it.
All right, later. All right, we got the 857 in the building, and then, of course, we got to get Chicken in the building, man. He wants to talk to us for a second, man. We always got to get our guy in.
He gonna try to hurt my feelings.
But who do we have in the building
guys,
right now?
This is Walt from Boston, guys. What's
going on, bro?
No, I'm just piggybacking off the guy who just called in. I think Devin has to smoke him in Las Vegas because Las Vegas gives people points for coming forward. You know, and if Lomachenko is the aggressor in that fight, he's gonna walk away with it because Bob and the judges, Devin has to blow him out to win that fight, and I can't see Devin doing that because he has no power. Once Loma sees that, he's just gonna keep coming. Devin's nothing like Floyd at 135. Floyd would hit you and keep you off. Floyd
was a killer at 135.
To me, Dev is nothing in the pocket. So if Loma can keep it inside, and when because Devin, another thing they're gonna take away points for, Devin's gonna grab a lot, and they're gonna take away points for that. Because even ESPN, you remember the last time he fought, they were counting how many times he grabbed people.
Yeah.
So it's like I want Dev to win, but I got a feeling if Loma's 95% of Loma, because I've never seen Dev fight anybody even close to him. Right? I told y'all this before. He won them belts against a C+ level fighter. You know, so to me, it's like, I just feel like it's a difficult fight. I think he could win, but it's going to take a lot. I think if he fights Tank, that's not even going to be close because he's going to have to, like, run in that fight. Because it's not going to be like other fights. Tank's going to seek and destroy with him because he knows there's nothing coming back. You can't beat him with just a jab and a grab.
Yeah, you got to have power to keep Tank off you. You got to have some type of pop that he got to respect.
And I just want to say, Marty, too, man, I love your shows, bro. It's like you educate so much on a lot of things that I didn't know about boxing. So I appreciate you, brother. And
Thank you, man. Appreciate your viewership and your support, brother. Hope you learn more, and I look forward to seeing more, of you on the channel, brother. Thank you. Salute, man.
Yo, and real quick on my way out here, I told you guys this before. Terence Crawford's never going to fight Errol Spence unless he gets, retirement money. Y'all, it's like everybody keeps waiting for this fight to happen. If Errol was still drinking and stuff and looking like he was looking before he came back, he might have took the fight. But I guarantee you the fight doesn't get made because even if he wins, he'll never be the same. Errol puts a beating on him, and that's just facts. People, it's not going to happen unless they go like 15 to 20, 20 million guaranteed to him.
I feel you. All right, man. Well,
Y'all
I
have a
appreciate
good
your
day,
call,
man.
bro.
FSU all
right,
day, too.
All day long. Appreciate you, bro.
Shitty ass school.
Shut your monkey ass up. Hey, we got one more call that we're gonna take. We're gonna take Chicken Talk Lefty. That's our guy. We wait for him. Either he gonna call in or he gonna click the link. Either or. We only taking Chicken Talk, and this is Chicken Talk calling in. We got our guy in the building, Lefty, aka Chicken Talk, aka one half of the Lefty and Jake show every Saturday at 11 a.m. What's up, bro?
What's good?
Chilling, man.
And
chilling.
Lefty, don't hurt me too bad about this fight, bro.
What, Devin and Haney? Devin and Loma?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a sad day for Devin Haney. I'm calling in right now so y'all don't lose our money. Make sure you bet on Loma. Bet the house on Loma because this boy might be a stoppage. It very well could be a stoppage. But
you think so?
It very well could be because if he saw what JoJo was doing to him with that left hook, imagine what Loma gonna do too with that left hook. He's open for it all day long. The straight right and that left hook all day long. He dips to his right, which is to Loma's left hook, because he doesn't move his head a lot. He uses a lot of upper body movement to his defense. It's not head movement, it's upper body movement. He loves that dip to the right. He's going to catch him. It might be a stoppage. And this weight cut is going to be horrible. This is going to be the worst one. And people talk about Devin's bigger, but it also takes you a lot more to rehydrate. The legs ain't the same. This is going to end bad for Devin. And I was all in on Devin. Went back and watched that JoJo fight again. I was like, no, because JoJo could get on the inside, use an earmuff without jabbing, just could walk on the inside. Devin spent a lot of time up against the ropes. People talking about him grabbing and holding Kambosos. Kambosos was just jumping in reckless. So yeah, it was easy to grab. That JoJo, I'm telling y'all, go back and watch that JoJo fight. It's disturbing. If you're a Devin Haney fan, that's why I switched my pick.
Yeah, I gotta watch it. Chicken coming in here, man, giving us all kind of bad news and shit. I was supposed to leave.
And Ortiz, and Devin ain't no Ortiz type fighter. Devin is a pot shot. 1-2, 1-2, 2-1.
Facts.
Yeah. He doesn't move well. Like people talk about a jab. He only landed 10 jabs against JoJo. Of course it's harder for Orthodox to land a jab softball, but against JoJo Diaz, you should tell you this don't look good for Devin unless Loma is completely shot. I don't think he's completely shot. Like I said, there's a lot of familiarity between him and Jermaine Ortiz. They were sparring partners. Matter of fact, they used to weigh Jermaine Ortiz before even letting him spar Loma. So they knew how big Jermaine Ortiz was. He was active, always moving his hands, throwing punches. That's not Devin.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back and watch that fight now, bro. I'm going to go back and watch that fight.
Go back and watch that fight, and y'all break it down and just watch that straight left hand from JoJo. And then when he started shortening up that left hook, when he caught Devin
And JoJo has a good amateur background. JoJo is a fighter. He's very experienced. Then when he started seeing Devin continually dip, when he could get him up against the rope, Devin kept continually dipping to his right. He showed up that left hook and he kept catching. You know, JoJo don't have much power, but man, yeah, JoJo took his jab all the way away. He was losing the lead hand every single time, and he was losing the exchanges.
Yeah.
And that was one thing that Tio was doing that beat Loma. He was winning the exchanges. He was losing the exchanges every single time against JoJo. Man, I'm telling y'all, go back and watch that fight. It's gonna make you change your mind. Because I went back and watched it like, oh no, I can't go.
I'm gonna go back and watch it.
Ken Bosis, that's a totally different style. Ken Bosis ain't that great of a fighter.
Yeah.
He's quick, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back and watch it, and then I'm gonna probably find a way to still convince myself that Devin Haney's gonna win, no matter what I see.
Hey, look, after I get my Haney prediction and my Fulton New Way prediction, they probably start following me. They gonna follow me and Coon.
Oh man.
No. But that's all, man. I can't wait for this fight. I'm looking very forward to it. I'm gonna have a breakdown on my channel sooner or later. The video breakdown on my channel probably within the next 2 weeks. Man, make sure y'all check it out. Please, more Loma and Haney talk, less Terence Crawford and Spence talk. These two boys, Loma and Haney, have actually put it on the line, getting in there, giving us a great fight, which I'm gonna purchase, and I hope all y'all purchase it along with it. That's what I want to talk about. Loma and Haney, because Canelo ain't fighting nobody. Loma and Haney. Let's go.
That's the one.
I'm hyped.
That's the one.
All right, y'all.
I feel the same. All right, bro, man. Appreciate you for calling in, man.
Appreciate it, Lefty.
All right, man. That's the last one we taking for the night. Because we almost at 3 hours, Jay. We usually only do 2, but we almost at 3. But no, man, I appreciate everybody. Number one, let me stop and pause and give my appreciation for Manager Marty, man. I saw you calling in. I got to grab my guy and pull him in. Because you know, it's funny, Marty, I was looking at your show and I was so tempted to text you to say, hey man, I want to join and talk about this, but I said, nah, I ain't gonna jump in, man. I'm gonna let you cook. But I was so excited to see you in the call. I said, I got to drop that link for you, man, for you to join us. So appreciate you, man. Man, plug your channel, bro.
Hey man, I appreciate both of you guys having me on. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for your viewership and support. As always, you know we family. Anytime you want to jump on, if you want to text me or just get the link, y'all can always jump on. I don't care what time of day it is. I don't care if I said I'm not going to do another 5-hour energy drink show. But I did it twice unintentionally. But I don't care how long it is. You guys can always, come on the platform anytime you want. You guys and the viewers, thank you for the chat. Thank you for all of you guys supporting AM Sports Media. Not just guys, I meant ladies and as well. Tune in live, live in color. We'll be back on my channel live on Tuesday evening for our roller tape podcast with Manager Marty. Notice how I keep using that word podcast. I'm doing that for a reason. But in any event, that's the channel. I look forward to seeing some of you ladies and gentlemen in the chat. And let's continue to do what Chicken Talk said. Let's build up the fight between Loma and Devin Haney until we hear something else officially, emphasis on the word officially, between Crawford and Spence, so that we won't become redundant and mundane with keep talking about it. And we're all wrestlers at this point. We're just waiting for an announcement if it's going to happen. If not, it's not going to happen. But at this point, man, salute to you guys. I look forward to, engaging in your chat every time I see you live. If I have time on Sunday nights. And I have to say this before I go, and I may have said this to you in your chat on the actual documentary, but if I didn't, I'm gonna say it right now. That documentary was awesome. I was so proud of you guys. I got the link. I was on my way taking care of some business. I said, I'm stopping everything I'm doing. It's only a half hour. I can be late. I got to watch this whole thing in its entirety. You guys did a wonderful job. That was a great, great documentary. Great job, guys, as always.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Check out Manager Marty every Tuesday and Friday, if I'm not mistaken, Marty. Where I think your show starts at 6:30.
Yep, between 6:30 and 7. I try to bounce back around. If I'm coming off of a meeting or something. But yep, 6:30 or 7, Tuesday night, Friday nights. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. And then also, guys, like I mentioned before, Chicken Talk, aka Lefty, hosts a show every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. It's the Lefty and Jake Show. Awesome content. Make sure you go check it out. The Mike Check Podcast with T Ward. That's our guy. Make sure you go check out T Ward. The Boxing Swords. Who else we messed with, man? Showboating. You guys go check out the content, man. I mean, it's great content. And man, support these, smaller YouTube channels, man, because we're the next wave, man. We're coming in with the real stuff, doing things that maybe you haven't seen yet in terms of the sport and how we, go about doing things from a YouTube perspective, man. So I just feel like support all of us. We support each other, and that's big time. Again, if you're new to the channel, this is AM Sports Media, the Angry Man Podcast. We just recently surpassed 6,500 subscribers. We're growing at a rapid pace. Please come join the family. We are always dropping content on a regular basis, whether it's clips, boxing breakdowns, documentaries, live shows, you name it. We're dropping boxing content, and we love to be engaged with the people like the people love to be engaged with us. Jay, anything else you want to share before we wrap this one up?
Just appreciate the boxing community as a whole. It wouldn't be us without y'all.
Absolutely. I give all that and Jay give that little shit. That's what he does, though, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Jason. All right, guys.
Go to hell, Greg. You took all the damn talking points, so go to hell, man.
Guys, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for joining the show. You will see content from us tomorrow. And also, we'll be back live and in color next week, Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you check us out. Peace.
Asshole.
Fuck you.
Asshole.